horde marching. All right. Hey, it's us with Role Playing Public Radio. We are playing Borg today on the RPPR live stream. This is we have two patrons here, Scribblykins and Squirrel. And this scenario is one I have written myself called "Stain the Bastion with Blood." And so here is the intro flavor. The horde is on the march. A murderous horde of vile scum eager to kill everyone on their path. You can't outrun them. You can't outrun them. The only way to survive is to hole up in the bastion on the hill and hope that the horde passes you by. You have 7 days before the horde is on the horizon. Do you rally the peasants of the nearby farms, look in the old cemetery for the geomancer's grave, for the scroll of wall mending, make a deal with the thing in the cave for extra muscle. The world is ending, but not this week, and you want to see the sun rise as long as you can. So we have two so there's an old bastion up on the hill in the middle of this map. I made a little hex map to sort of show the area, and the dark gray are the walls of the fortress, the outer fortifications, and the center of it is a hill, the top of the bastion, and there is gates. There's a gate and that you can close, and there's also some other people here milling about, other scum and farmers. No one's eager to face the horde. No one can outrun the horde for long. So they're all like realizing they need to get shelter somewhere. Before I explain the special rules of the scenario, why don't we first introduce our characters and how they know each other and how they got to this bastion? How'd they get into this predicament? So first off, we have Scribblykins playing Urvarg. Tell us about Urvarg.
Urvarg is a forlorn philosopher, which means he's one of the really well-educated people in this setting. Raised by fanatical theists in a temple beneath Grift's bridges, Grift being like basically a paradise nation until things started to fall apart really, really badly. He's very weak physically, is conflicted about this whole, the world ending thing, has an inferiority complex because, hey, shouldn't I be able to do something about anything? No, maybe, no, not. So he drinks a lot, is a bit of a to talk smack about people, not to their face, but once they've left the room, He's also afflicted by headaches. His hypersensitive mental tissues are inflamed by ambient stupidity and bright lights.
All right. Let's introduce the second character first, and we can talk about how you got to be in this predicament. So, Squirrel, please tell us about Weemut.
He was raised by rats in the gutters of Grift, abandoned by his family and taken on by a small community of rats. But as Grift fell apart, he was basically an ill star, smiled upon his birth. He had bad parenting, poverty, crime, and eventually as Grift fell apart, the rats traded him to a troop of monkeys for some rations when they had to flee. So now he kind of works for these 4 monkeys. They love him, but they don't really respect him in any way whatsoever. He's huge, loud mouth, but with little worth saying. And his favorite food seems to be bugs.
His favorite food seems to be bugs. Amazing. So a gutter-born scum, you might say. The two of you find yourself at the bastion, but how did you find yourself to be at this bastion in the face of an oncoming horde of murderous scum? Do you two know each other?
We're probably years apart generational wise. I imagine we met one another after we'd both left Grift.
He was shouting in a street, just ranting some sort of philosophy thing, and I took it as the first person who's ever tried to talk to me. He was just basically screaming at a wall, but I felt like he was speaking to me, and I never felt such respect. So I've just been following him around. Although the monkeys are pretty pissed that I'm doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have been unseasonably drunk that day, so I don't remember what I actually said.
Nice.
But Vemid is like, yeah, you spoke so eloquently, and I'm, God damn it, what did I say?
What did you say?
Now you've got me following you around.
Yeah, and so yeah, you've realized you don't have any horses, you don't have any or horses that could like ride far and fast enough to get out to avoid the horde. You don't know which, you know they're coming, and this is the only fortification that would that is available to you in walking distance. There are probably other castles or forts nearby, but they've sealed themselves up preparing for that. And they're definitely not going to let outsiders in. So there's some farmers in this area. There is the cemetery to the southeast, and there is a cave with a thing in the cave. So we open up on the fort itself, the Bastion. The walls are strong where they still exist. This is a broken fort. It is not actively manned. There was a siege here years ago, it looks like, and the defenders lost. And so it's been gutted. And then squatters and farmers and other people have used it as sort of an open encampment over the years. So the walls are well built where they are, but clearly some siege weapons punched holes in them years ago. So
and the stupid peasants always take the stones for their own, walls, and they never think to rebuild.
That too, yeah. There's been a lot of stone theft over the years. So yeah, but there's a good number of other people here who are in the same predicament, all muttering to themselves. There's a couple campfires going in the big courtyard of this fort on the top. So you're in the top center hex, and the two of you realize that individually, no one's taking charge. Yeah. No one's doing anything to prepare the siege. There's people talking about things. There's some people talking about, if they come here, we'll say I have this trap here and it'll get them. The first guy comes through the door, it'll get him. And of course, you're like, well, what about the next guy or the guy after that or the 400 guys after that? So, no one has a vision of like rallying everyone together for mutual self-interest and surviving the attack. So the way this is going to work is there are going to be 7 days. In each day, you can take one big action, which and basically every action you do can potentially get you victory points. If you get a certain number of victory points, you will definitely survive the battle. And if you get above the bare minimum, then you will get something else. Maybe plunder. Maybe you'll rally some people to follow you even after this battle. Who knows? But obviously, if you get less than the victory points minimum, you may in fact perish. We'll make that into a roll at the actual battle, and the fewer victory points you get, the less likely it is you survive. So there are things you can do so for example, some actions you could do would be scouting, just going around the area and figuring out what direction the horde is coming from, and what kind of composition of troops they have and that sort of thing. And then another one would be like basically analysis. Once it's been scouted, you can like think about, like, draw some maps out on the dirt and think about it and be like, oh, they're going to do this, we should prepare for this. But obviously each of those could only be done once. But there are other things you could do. You could like recruit and train the locals. And if you do it, there's some basics that you could also try to equip them. They have some pointy sticks and some knives and rocks and slings, but maybe you could get them, I don't know, actual weapons, proper weapons, shields, maybe. The sky's the limit. And then you, of course, equipping them, you need to find someone who has weapons, and then you need to convince them well, you have to get some kind of loot in order to sell, buy them. You could recruit, maybe there's some other people just not hanging out at the fort. You could recruit mercenaries, murder hobos, troublemakers.
What are the local brigands thinking about this horde
Yeah.
that's coming through their domain?
You could try and set up a trap or an ambush. There's a lot of things you can do. So you two can talk about what you think you want to do first and kind of plan from there. So, but yeah, this is the first of 7 days. What do you want to do?
Oh, Urvarg the Wise. Usually I just survive these things by hiding out in a dung cart, but I hear this horde tends to light them on fire, so I am not liking my chances. What are we going to do?
Also, there's been, the whole the dung deficiency of late. All the animals have been slaughtered. There's not so much around, But yes, this is not a rich region, so it makes me wonder why this horde is coming through. Are they coming from the west? Which direction is the west now again?
Yeah, actually, let me make a little drawing, and let's see. What if I can? I wonder if there's text. Yeah, there's text. Let's see here. North. So that is very large. I'll put that in like half size. All right, so that's north. And let's see here. I'll put. Come on, give me some more. There we go. Forest. All right. Let's see here. Obviously, lake. Cemetery. Let's see here. Hills with cave. And let's see here. Foot of mountain. And then I'll just put HQ. And yeah, these are just little tree stands, like little copse of trees, and the rest of this is obviously farmland or grassland, that kind of thing. So that's the local area. Any questions? But yeah, you don't know. You assume they're coming some direction from the west, but you don't know exactly what vector they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. So that is something that could be scouted out, and we could maybe.
Yeah, someone can scout. That would be a. Let's see here. What is the? I always mix up what is what attribute. Agility. That would be an agility check. Obviously, you have omens to help you with this, because if you fail that agility check, then you're gonna get caught.
Things will happen.
Things in fact will happen. Yeah.
Let's list some of our options then, Vemut. Like you always do. You make a list of things that you need to or could be doing.
Great, and then you are the wisest. You're the most inspiring person that's ever spoken to me. Maybe we should get the farmers together.
I notice not many tend to speak to you due to the stench. Have you considered taking a dip in the lake?
No, water is vile, vicious. It stings me.
Well, yes. I'm just glad my nose is somewhat messed up at the moment, so I don't really smell so well anymore. Regardless, let's make that list of the things we can do. We of course know about the cemetery and the supposed geomancer buried there. There could be some scrolls that could help with the repair of this fort, which what was it called? It was part of the war between. I think it's something like the Mork fort or Mork Borg or something like that. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, this Fort of Darkness is our respite, and if we can fix that up, the brigands, the horde that comes, may just not be interested in taking out a bunch of simple villagers living inside it, because they should know that this is just some abandoned old fort, and they're not interested in staying. I should think they have places to be, according to the prophecies.
What do you know about the thing in the cave in the hills? Maybe it helps us?
The things in the caves and the hills, or rather the thing local to this area, it's new. But I know in general what it could be. There are some things that have been leaking, dribbling into our reality by mistake or otherwise, as you know, it crumbles due to the death of gods and such. But regardless, these things they end up here, and some of them can indeed be reasoned with, but they are lonesome and somewhat hated creatures for the very fact that they exist.
Just like these.
You have something in common with them. Yes, that is true. So perhaps it might be willing to listen to reason on that note. There are not many reasons why anybody would side with them over anything, and this could be one of their only chances to get anything resembling social contact. I wouldn't say human contact, since they are by definition particularly not human. But yes, that is absolutely, we could talk to them if it is indeed in a state that is talkable. If not, well, maybe we could irate it in such a way that it attacks the horde as it comes through, and that just makes the horde distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other like fortresses nearby?
No, not okay. Like there. It's what's on the map is what's available to you.
All right. Well, I just meant in terms of, is there any value in making somebody else a more valuable target or a more viable target? Spend our time weakening somebody else.
Yeah, like this is, you know, you don't know much about the horde or what they're after, so you don't know what would be valuable to them. So, you know, they murder people, so they'd be interested in murdering you. That's about it. And there's people scattered all around here, so but yeah,
Not
you don't. Yeah,
but by the prophecies, they should always also be arriving with lots of fire. So that's why, you know, being in a stone fortification is probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Stone does not burn. So yeah,
that super powerful guy you're always preaching about. Can he do anything for us?
I'm not preaching as such. I'm not a priest of the two-headed basilisk. It's just that the two-headed basilisk is kind of, you know, the one of the primary gods of this world, because all of its prophecies are coming true, even unto the end.
Yeah, so like things like recruiting villagers, there's a lot of different ways you could like do that. So you could definitely invoke the gods for a bonus, and you know, preach about them in order to let's see here. Did I say one? I thought no. I said noon. Okay. Okay. Let's see here.
But I could definitely state to the, you know, the peons that that it is not the will of the gods that we die today, specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because there are various signs and portents that have not yet occurred. You know, Grift hasn't thrown itself over the cliffs yet, because according to the calendar of Necrobul, there are such and such many things left to happen before the king commits suicide with all this nation.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to, do you want to go to the preach to the people and convince them that the will of the two-headed basilisk is to fight back?
Day one can be crazy, you know. The end is
yes, indeed. The two-headed basilisks has declared the entire country of Grift as heretical, because suicide is not the way. Okay. So this is indeed something we could go and do to make people who have given up hope otherwise tell them that, well, the two-headed basilisk is not going to accept you into the afterlife if you don't, you know, struggle a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. That's a very good argument. That gives you +4 in your presence check. So
can the monkeys and I perform while he's doing it to increase that?
Well, I mean, he's going to be spending all day doing this. If you want to assist him, then I can just say the two of you succeed, but you're not going to be able to do anything else the first day. You only have 7 days, remember?
Okay, then I'll do something else on that.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and give me a roll. And you get a +4 plus your presence. Do you have any?
All right, Invisigothically is on his way. So hey, we'll have the royalty here as well. And if we can,
Yeah, he's just gonna wake up in a ditch and be like, "What's going on?"
we'll find him as we're out preaching or doing
Yeah.
our stuff.
Oh no, he's
all right.
there at the Bastion. He's just in a ditch, passed out, drunk. So yeah.
All right, roll 1d20. Oh no, the wrong channel. Let's see. It's R1d20. Plus 7 because I get a +4 and then I have a +3 for my presence. And 14. That should be a success because I believe
it is definitely a success. So let's see.
Hearken ye peasants, it is not yet time for you to surrender your lives unto the gods, because the two-headed basilisk have declared that suicide is forbidden, and if you just lie down and accept the hordes with blade and fire, of course you're not going to get into heaven, so get up, you gits, and fight for your lives by going to the Mork Borg over there.
Yeah, so you sort of rally, the peasants, the people taking shelter in the Bastion, and some of the people right outside of it. And as they realize that it's in their interest to do that, some shepherds bring in their flocks. They start gathering food, supplies. They start building, taking wooden scrap and things like that to fill in the gaps in the walls. Start stockpiling sling stones and gathering weapons, and making sure everybody has some kind of weapon. Pretty basic stuff.
In terms of progress, you can see that the dung cart is like 1/5 full.
Got to stockpile your dung. There's a lot of uses for it. It's good fuel. It's good to stick arrows into.
Good to hide in.
Yeah, good to hide in.
If it's not lit on fire, which
it's not lit on fire,
we've evidenced that problem.
So meanwhile, Vemut, Urvarg is doing this all day. Like, it is going to take him all day to get everybody in a semblance of moving towards a common goal. What do you want to do? Obviously, you could scout on your own.
I was made to believe that I would be a kindred spirit with the cave monster, so I'm going to scout out that way and try to stealth in and get an idea of what's going on with cave monster over here.
Scouting the cave. You've heard about the cave. You don't really. There's a cave and there's a thing in it that is intelligent. You can talk to it. You can't. No one's seen it because it's a dark cave, and it stays away from the light. But it does seem to be big and scary. So if you want to deal with the thing in the cave, that's not really scouting. You can.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll head over there to get an idea.
Okay. So you head to the cave. It is quite dark. And do you have like a torch or something? Or if not, you can give me a presence check to make one from improvised material.
Not.
Yeah, there's some trees and dead branches next to the cave, like right here. So you can go there, grab some stuff, wrap it around. Light, you have flint and steel. I'm not gonna. All right, yeah, you make a torch.
He's borrowing Vrezi's fire steel, surely.
Yeah, I mean, the rat taught me well. I know how to see in darkness.
There you go. And so you march in there, and you head into the cave a bit. You see some bones, human bones, some skulls, rib cages, that kind of thing. The smell of death is in the air, and then you feel a presence in the vicinity, somewhere in the shadows beyond the light of your torch. And then you hear a voice, very clear, very loud, but very controlled. Hello. And who might you be?
Hello, I am Wemut.
Hello, Wemut. Have you come to be relieved of the burden of life?
No, we've come to speak. There's a group of evil. Well, evil is relative. There's a bunch of people coming to kill everything from the west to the east. And you happen to be within that range, and we happen to be within that range. And I just wanted to give you a heads up and see if maybe we could work together.
It is intriguing. A horde is many meals. a feast. But I would. They are not coming into the cave. I would have to head out of the cave. That
We
is.
don't know whether or not they're going to do that, but think about how much food that's going to be.
Well, but I would be. It seems unfair to do this without a something in favor. So, hello, weird. We'll get to you in a second. And so
What does a great
do you
thing like
offer?
you need?
Well, meat, of course, but I'm open to offers.
Think
If
about it.
you
If
know,
we die, there's no more food for you, and the horde's going to keep moving
there's
on.
always more food. You tell me, I do like a good gamble.
Ooh, I do too.
Well, how about this? I'll here is a die, and here's a cup. You see a cup and a die. I'll let you even roll it. Roll the die in the cup and face down, and then tell me if it's going to be odd or even. If you're right, I'll do as you say. If you're wrong, I want you to put out that torch.
Okie doke.
All right. So I'm going to roll 1d6. But first, you tell me if it's going to be odd or even. Yeah.
Cut away to Erwag, wondering aloud to himself, I wonder if I should have mentioned that there are perfectly ordinary things living in caves that aren't, of the same nature as the ones I discussed with Vemet. Oh, well,
Given Weemit's nature, I'm going with odd.
All right.
Wait, before we do this, before we establish this, in what way can I use omens?
You can re-roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're gonna need that re-roll. You really
I would like to use an omen.
Yeah. All right. Do you have one more omen?
I do. Let's use the second omen.
Oh dear.
Oh, the fates are on your side. Finally, a 5. I rolled a 2, then a 6, and then a 5. And it wakes. It is odd, and the cave thing chuckles. Very well. When the horde comes, I will come out of my cave and I will grab myself a feast, like plucking apples from a tree. It shall be wonderful. I quite like you, Weemet.
Thank you.
I will tell you. I will give you a little information that you can use as you will. I have family who would be very eager to help.
Ooh, where do they live?
They live under the lake. Well, they don't live under the lake. They're imprisoned under the lake. Some very bad people long ago trick them and put them far below the earth and put a seal over their prison, and then channeled a river in over it, so it became a lake. So I know. Do you know what a diving bell is?
No.
Do you know what a bell is? It looks like a very large bell.
I think so.
Well, there's a boat and a diving bell at the shore of the lake. Now, the diving bell you can get into, and if you can find the right spot in the lake, you can be lowered with the diving bell into the bottom of the lake, and then you can break the seal. And then if you release my family, I'll let them know who helped them, and you'll be protected.
Okay. My family too, right? I point at the monkey.
Yes, of course.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
That's something. Yeah.
Can I ask one final request?
Sure.
Can I take one of these? And I point at the bones.
Of course. I actually get rid of them. Take as many as you wish.
Thank you. Canonically, this is how I get my only weapon, the femur.
Your
But
comfort
I'm also
bone.
going to gather up as many bones as I can, bring them back, and let other people fight with bones.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. That helps. There are some people who are going to be using femurs. Yeah. It's
Myself
you're only
included.
one person though, and there's only so much you can carry. But yeah,
One person and 4 monkeys who love but don't listen to me.
yeah, they don't listen to you. They don't let go of those bones. That's their bones. Like, yeah. So meanwhile, weird. How you doing?
Hello, I exist.
Yes, you do exist. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Tell us about your character.
All right. Brissy, the background thing. He's royalty, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I guess you have to have royalty somewhere, and he can't submit to the new king. He refuses to after his dad died, and he's got weird, interesting. I feel interesting equipment. In addition to a water skin, bow, scale mail, a sack, and toolbox and all that cool stuff. He's also got like a gift in a snake skin. Let's see, in a sandalwood box. That's I keep forgetting what the exact phrase. Um, bound in snakeskin. That's it. Bound in.
All right.
He's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a horse too.
All right. So you wake up in a ditch at the Bastion, the HQ in the middle of the map. You hear Urvarg, a philosopher, like preaching about the two-headed basilisks and how everyone has to try to fight back the horde if they want to be led into the afterlife. Suicide is frowned upon. And yeah, and so he is, so basically the way this is going to work is you have 7 days. This is the first day. Urvar, everyone, you can take one major action per day. You can roleplay as much as you want, and some actions require a scene to resolve. But like, you need to get a certain number of victory points to survive the battle. And you can the for today, the peasants are being trained. Urvarg is organizing them, getting them together. And Weemut went off to the hill to talk to the thing in the cave and managed to recruit it by winning a game of dice. But yeah, there are other things you can do. No one's scouted the enemy horde. No one's tried to find weapons for the villagers. No one's tried to set up a trap or an ambush. You can't really analyze the battlefield until you've scouted, until someone's scouted. You could look for murder hobos and mercenaries. Or you could let me know. Or there's the geomancer's grave. Yeah, what do you want to do?
What's up with the geomancer's grave? You need a geomancer and they're dead?
Yes. You're well known. This Bastion, which has been abandoned, has become like a squatter community. There is a geomancer who lived in the and was buried in the cemetery to the southeast. And it's rumored he was buried with a powerful scroll of with a spell of wall mending. The Bastion that you have is well built, but there are several holes in it that as a result of a long ago siege. So having intact walls is pretty useful to survive a battle. Yeah. So
that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. What do you want to do for your first day?
How do I try to find out more about the geomancer or their grave or whatever?
I mean, you know where it is. You can just walk over there.
Yeah. I'll just go check it out.
All right. You go to the cemetery.
On my horse, Barbarister, the incredible horse.
Yeah. Yeah. So you ride out.
Talk.
He can talk?
Yep.
Barbarister is magical, intelligent, arrogant, and vain. He can also talk. If you persuade him to care, Barbarister occasionally has +2 to presence tests involving logic and intellect. The horse may be smarter than you, and it is quite aware of this.
I have rousing, intelligent conversations with this horse every now and again,
Oh,
which is one of the reasons why I deign to, be around him.
Mhm.
I hate being around the horse because he is significantly smarter and better educated than me.
Yeah. So the horse is like, but oh, why are we heading to a cemetery?
Because I want to check out this. I want to check out this geomancer. Fixing the wall seems like a great idea to me.
Well, they're such dreadful places. Of course, if you die, you won't be buried in a grave. You'll be left out to rot. I imagine no one's around who care enough to bury you and erect a tombstone.
Yeah, I love you too, Barbarister. It's so great.
Well, no one's ever made a grave for a horse. The fact that any human does this is just ridiculous, honestly. So I don't remember any dead horses. I don't care. No one cares. It's delusional for humans to think that they deserve such monuments to their egos when they're dead. Anyways.
What's the alternative? Being reused for spare parts? Don't worry. I think that happens a lot these days.
All right. So you get to the cemetery. It's pretty easy to spot the geomancer's grave. It is the one that has a slight black purplish aura around it. It is a large mausoleum, really, at a little stone shrine with runes etched on it. There's an iron wrought gate that has been ripped open, rusted, at that barely holding on, on one hinge. And the other graves in this area, most of them are quite old. The newer ones are quite humble. There's some wooden, like you could tell the quality of people being buried in here has gone down, or the amount of money spent on graves has gone down over time. Kings were once buried here and now peasants are. So but the kingly graves are long since looted and dead. The geomancer's mausoleum is that, like, for a place where peasants and the farmers tend to like scavenge stone for their own houses from old ruins, that is remarkably intact. So yeah, what do you want to do?
I mean, is there anything barring me from entering?
Not from a distance. If you want to get closer.
Yeah. I was gonna go right up to it.
Okay. So the let's see. As you do so, give me a presence check.
All right. 20, yes. Okay, well, a 2 plus whatever is probably not enough, so.
Let's see here.
3, I got a 3.
Yeah, all right.
It is 1d20, right? I mean, it's.
Yeah,
What's the bonus for the horse?
Oh yeah, you know what?
No, he gets a +2 according to the rules.
Yeah, you get a +2. Well, that will give you a 5, right? Yeah. I would say it's an 8 you needed. So do you have any armor there? Let's see here. Scale armor. Okay, cool. Let's see here. All right, so a ghostly apparition phases in from the wall and touches you, and it drains some energy from you. Your armor somehow manages to avoid it, but you do lose 1 point of all your attributes for the duration of this fight. Yeah, and it is quite angry. So yeah, there's a murderous ghost of the geomancer protecting its grave. So
can I leave?
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Just run away.
Okay, yeah, you run away. And that's the first day for you. Is yeah.
And since you're to explore a grave and get attacked by a ghost, that's what I did.
Yeah. And so you are yeah, so you know there's a monster guarding the scroll, so all of you could spend an action tomorrow to get it. Yeah. That is the first day. So yeah, the next day rises. And all of you have the people beginning to rally and start bringing in supplies and preparing weapons and whatnot. But yeah, the geomancer's grave would be very powerful, but it would be very dangerous. It's a fight. So yeah. Yeah, you could all talk about what you want to do.
Yes, I certainly hope nobody went to the geomancer's grave on their own. That would be suicide.
No, I just went to speak with the thing in the cave. It's gonna help us. It also it has family under the lake that have been wrongly imprisoned for a very long time.
Oh, those.
We have to ring a bell or something to free it.
The diving bell. I've heard about this. No, well, the mad expedition of Filian the Fifth, I think. The diving bell should still be around there somewhere. That's true.
I went to the geomancer's grave and I survived. I ran away. It's easy.
Well done, Vrezi, on surviving. Did you get the scroll by any chance?
No, sadly, no. We should. I think we should get the scroll though. I think that would be a tremendous benefit to fix these walls.
No, I agree, but Vemet, did you discern the nature of the thing you spoke to? Well, there are theories, of course. If it's related to the things sealed beneath the lake.
Kind-hearted gambler.
All right. That
hungry.
Yes, that makes more sense. Yes. Yes. Well, we can consider it as a. Let's see. Not a last resort. I wouldn't say a last resort, but maybe like a last resort.
I don't think anything should be imprisoned like that.
Well, it depends on how long you want this region to stay moderately safe, of course.
We're being attacked by a horde.
Well, I mean, after that.
Then there will be another horde. Nothing will ever be safe. We're just trying to.
Well, no, there could be more hordes, but there's a limited amount of them given the time we have left, and there's certainly only one the horde.
Given the way you sneer and ignore my presence, can I understand that you are of noble birth, Lord Vrezi?
I've said that every time I can. I can't believe I have to talk to you.
Yes.
As it was discussed, it's Vrezi is the son of Zygmunt, who was a king. He was a royal presence. He was the brother of the king, the current king, Fathmu the Ninth. He's who is a tyrant and apparently kills his brother. Maybe I'm not sure. You've never actually elucidated on that point, Vrezi.
Well, yes, like many of your kind, you seem to have confused me with a chamber pot. So that's how I knew. But
it's good to know you've been listening every time I repeat the story over and over again.
We can help you.
It's hard not to remember eventually.
We can help you with the cemetery quest.
That is
Sounds
certainly
great.
something.
Yeah, you could all spend a day preparing for battle. Now you do have some peasants under your command. They're not going to be, you've only given them the bare minimum of training. They need a lot more training. But they'll follow you. Their morale isn't great right now, but they will go to they'll go to a place with you and do non-combat things. Combat's a little iffy, but we'll see.
So if we had some kind of non-combat task to give to them, like
like dying, we could use them to test out the strengths of the ghost in the geomancer's crypt. Just have them go one at a time.
I mean,
Vrezi, I'm very much afraid that dying is a combat task.
Depends on if you have a chance to hit it first.
Yeah.
Would it be? I mean, a couple realistic questions of realism. Would they be able to? Obviously, they could probably make basic traps out in the fields.
Yeah, well, if you want to do a trap, that's going to be an all-day thing. Like for you
They
to
could
charge.
do repair work in case we don't.
Yeah, right now they're
Yeah.
still like they can spend they have plenty to do just as it is, just gathering food and rocks and making makeshift barricades to fill in the hole in the wall, that kind of thing. So like they have enough to do. They'll do useful things this entire time, but like now that you set them on the path, but you could train them more, like actually train them how to use weapons. You could train them for one more action. After that, you'll have to get them some you'll have to give them some kind of equipment and train them on that, like either spears or bows or whatever. Or
what the bones were for.
well, you got like a handful.
I was kidding.
Yeah. So like,
could realistically, could the geomancer's scroll be used to like reform the earth to turn the lake into a moat?
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't have it. You don't know what it does exactly. It's called the scroll of the rumors. It's called the scroll of wall mending. So probably not. But like,
I guess it mends walls.
Yeah, like the empty wall, the walls of the Bastion that have big holes in them. Need to be mended.
I do like the way you think non-laterally, though.
I think we should drain the lake.
You could try and drain the lake. That is actually something you could do. I did actually anticipate that. So draining the lake would be a project that would require, somebody to lead, that would take a lot of work. The more useful thing of draining the lake is flooding the eastern side of the battlefield. So, like, if you do that, the cemetery is going to get flooded. Like, it'll also make it really easy to get to the seal at the bottom of the lake. It'll also flood the rest of the area. So I'll change the map if you do that. Like I said, the other thing, you can set up a trap or an ambush. Now, traps or ambushes aren't going to grant you victory points now, but like, because you have to do something to activate them during the battle. Like, any trap that's going to affect something on the battlefield is not something you can just like set a tripwire and hope for the best. You don't have any it'll be like luring people into pit traps, or jumping down from the trees in the forest, or emerging out of the cave, or something.
Do something to bait them into the trap.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to take a risky action on the battlefield, but it'll give you more victory points than a standard preparatory action. So it's risk, more reward, but more risk. So I am going to get some water, so I'll be right back.
Yes.
I'm down with the cemetery plan if we want to get the scroll for the day.
Yeah, it does sound like that would be one of the good things that we could do. Just repair the fort.
I'm down with it. My character's grumpy and doesn't want to change his mind once he's decided on something.
We'll do that. I mean, what do we want to have the peasants do, if anything?
I mean, can't they just be? I'm sorry, my character's asked. Can't they just be cannon fodder? I like training them is fine if we have. How do we train them also? But more importantly, HQ is that when the battle comes, when the horde comes, are we trying to defend the, like, is the hexes right around HQ? Is that the wall or is it something else?
Those are the walls, basically.
Yeah. The HQ zone is basically the fort and the region around probably the walls. Yeah.
And do we know which direction the horde's coming from?
The west. Generally,
according to prophecy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know, like, specifically where. Are they coming down the mountains or through the forest or across the plains?
Yeah.
We there's the other options that we've been given, just because you might have missed some of them. We can scout. After we've scouted, we can analyze if we have any skills for it. The cemetery, which we're talking about doing. We got to find a way to raise money, look for mercenaries, set up traps.
Somebody should definitely scout. I'm not going to do it because I'm noble. But somebody should scout.
Like, that's one question. Do we want to have all three of us focus on fighting the ghost, or do we want to?
Because we can each do one big task, and we can, of course, have smaller discussions around strategy and such.
My question is, how do you fight a ghost? I don't have any.
I don't know.
I happen to have on me, Rezi, the 9 violet signs are not the storm scroll, which can produce lightning bolts. Unfortunately, if I cast it wrong, it might kill me.
You could be a big damn hero in battle. So we'll get to that when we actually get to the battle. So
That's
I also need to check what kind of ochre tablet my tattoo is transformed to today.
okay, yeah, go ahead and roll
This
for
would
that.
be day 2. I didn't
Yep.
use it for day 1.
Yep.
So that's 1d10.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 8, which is structural cryocondensation. Water freezes from the air, forming a 15-foot long bridge, or all water within 150 feet. Unfortunately, excluding that within living creatures, freezes.
Ooh.
All right,
Huh.
that's interesting. The freezing moon tablet is currently engraved upon my skin, so if we needed to freeze some water, well, that could be a thing we could do.
Yep.
So could you drain the lake and then freeze it after it was moved?
It's not. The lake is bigger than what the
yeah.
amount of
makes
volume that he has in there. Like,
That makes sense.
150 feet is nothing compared to the total size of that lake.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't like given an exact size for the
But
hex,
what we
but-
could
Many
do is there a moat in this?
no,
All right.
not right now.
No, not a moat, but like a well. A well. We need water.
Oh,
if
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to be in
There's a
peace.
well in the Bastion. Any fortress would have a well.
Okay,
and-
good.
Yeah. So yeah, they have water.
All right, so we don't need to create ice and store it so that we can. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. What do you does anybody have an idea of what they want to do? Like I said.
Well, it sounds like we want to go to the cemetery. At least send someone there to deal with the ghosts so that we can get the scroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
yeah,
we don't know-
multiple of you can go in there. You could like bring a NPC peasant with you, distraction / bait. Well, like one isn't going to be missed if you bring a bunch of peasants and they don't come back. Like, or they come, or some of them come back and it's like, oh yeah, they used us as bait to like kill a ghost.
That's gonna go and reduce morale, right?
Yeah.
That's still a thing.
Yeah, so you probably don't want to do that. But like one peasant, nobody's gonna know.
What about 2 or 3?
It would be a roll to see if it has a negative effect on morale if they don't come back. Yeah.
Do you two? I'm pretty stealthy. Do you two want to go deal with the cemetery? I can scout, or do we all want to deal with the cemetery? Like, how tough do we think this?
I mean, do you think you could sneak past a ghost and steal the scroll inside its tomb?
If you guys are distracting it with combat, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So all 3 of you head out. Do you bring any peasants with you?
At least, yes, please. Yeah, gotta bring a peasant.
Okay. Hey, you bring a peasant.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Numbers.
Erg comes with you. He's called Erg because he just says Erg. He seems to understand what you're saying, but yeah, Erg is not well liked among the other peasants, so nobody's gonna miss him. And yeah, the 4 of you head out and you get to the cemetery and you can see the geomancer's grave with the glowing purple black aura sort of the iron rusty gate. It looks exactly like it did yesterday, weirdly enough. Yeah.
One other detail. I also have a hook for a hand. Important detail.
Okay, yeah. Hook for a hand does some, I think, a d6 damage. Yeah,
that's what it says. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you had to wean yourself off nose picking after that.
Yeah.
That's when I had the hook for hand on my previous character. It said that.
Well, mine just says I'm a nihilist. I'm very nihilistic, but I mean, who isn't? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Pat. So I don't really know a lot about exercising ghosts. I'm gonna pretend that Erg does. I'm just gonna ask Erg. Erg, you're good at exercising ghosts, are you? I'm gonna, whatever gesture he makes. I'm gonna assume that means yes. See, he says yes. He's great at it.
Well, great. Look, Erog here is the wise man I've ever met. Maybe he knows how to deal with ghosts.
Well, there are. Depends on the nature of the ghost. Why is it protecting its tomb? Why is it still around and haven't moved on to its heavenly ward or turned into a complete shrieking ghast that attacks every living creature around? Oh wait, that might have happened actually. Okay, yeah.
Irvar,
Ghosts are magical
clearly,
beings, obviously. Yes, they're
clearly you're smart
spiritual.
about this. Like Urg, you should deal with along with him. If you got any way I can help, let me know.
Everyone tends to ignore me. Why don't you guys go talk to the ghost and I'll just
Wow.
walk around, see if I can grab that scroll.
Please do. I'll just get out this scroll, and in case it just attacks us, we'll deal with that when it happens. Ugh, could you take front row?
Erg. He does.
Right. See, Resi.
All right. So you mark. You start all marching in. So it's a one room mausoleum. It's enough. It's a standard sized door, but like it opens up into a large room. At the end of the far end of the room, you can see a large stone tomb. And the creature, the wraith appears of the geomancer. Everyone. You're prepared this time, so each of you will get an action before it kills per erg. I'll just go down the line. Irvarg, what do you want to do?
Hello there, spirit of the fallen, geomancer of this local area. We beseech you, I think, yes, we beseech you upon that we can use your mighty scroll to repair the walls of the castle so that we can resist the horde that is about to pass this area and burn everything in it.
All right, make a presence check.
All right.
Do we get the bonus from the horse?
3.
Absolutely not. The horse is not in the tomb, or not in the mausoleum.
Oh, Urvarg is very eloquent today.
Yeah, what do you get?
15.
15. Let's see. Oh, 18 actually. Because you rolled a 15 and add 3 to it. So
isn't that included when I add a +3?
No.
No.
The number's the one above it.
Oh, right. I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
It actually pauses. That's the difficulty rating. Should not be possible. Should not be able to talk a murderous wraith into not attacking people violating its grave. So it floats there, and then you realize it cannot speak. It has no voice, but you can understand the words somewhat. And
I found a way to cheat death's final barrier of communication. You just have to read the lips.
Yeah, you have to read the lips. So it's once it communicates to you equivalent exchange, a gift for a gift.
Well, I have this lightning scroll.
Yeah, you could exchange that. Yeah. It wants you to burn the lightning scroll because lightning is from the hated air.
Okay, hang on. I actually literally have a gift. I don't know why I still have it, but it says I do. It's a snakeskin gift. It's an expensive sandalwood box bound in snakeskin. It contains seemingly ordinary dagger wrapped in silk. The dagger does die 4 damage, but on a 1, the target dies immediately or of deadly poison weeping from the blade. So it's like does something evil, but it's a gift and it's still wrapped as a gift.
Okay, yeah. If you
it's a royal gift, that's worth more than
that. That is also the snake is of the earth, and he feels the elemental resonance. The geomancer is all about the earth. He hates the air, so he would accept either gift. If you want to give him,
I offer up the sandalwood box because I think it's going to be not very helpful.
Wood comes from the earth.
Conversation. Can I have attempted to stealth around and just have grabbed and whoop?
Well, it's in the stone grave, so like you'd have the tomb, like you'd have to shove a giant stone slab all out, quietly. There's no way you could do that. Like it's intricately linked. It's intrinsically linked to the grave, so like it instantly senses somebody trying to steal. But if you offer the sandalwood box, you lose that. You place that in its hands, and you take.
I offer it to them. I summon up to this tiny vestige of being able to pretend to act properly royal and act all ceremonial for a moment.
Mm-hmm. So you get it. You get the scroll of wall mending. And let's see here. Where is that? I put that roll somewhere. There it is. you get the scroll of wall mending. And go ahead and you all survive and leave the geomancer with his new gift to relish for this next untold centuries. So it is a standard I think DR12 presence check to cast it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Urvarg, you want to cast the you want to try and cast the first wall mending?
The scroll is obviously Rezi's, since Rezi gave up the gift for it. But if he wishes me to, as an expert in the field, to cast this scroll, I will obviously do my very level best to do so.
So is the scroll single use or what?
It's multiple use.
Yeah, it's like if you look on page 34 of the power section of Mork Borg, roll presence plus D4 every morning, determine how many times you can use powers that day. You test presence DR12. If you fail, you take damage, and and if you crit fail, that's really fun.
Like every
you
day
can
before
cast
the
there are basically you can cast it on each direction of the fort, north, east, south, and west. You can cast it to 4 times. You can cast them all right now, like all in this day, because if you have that many, if you activate it, that's magic, baby. You could seal all the scroll. You could cast it up to 4 times.
Yeah, Urvarg has 4 casts in him as a basic thing. He could have possibly have more, but Rezi has at least 2, I think. Yes, Rezi has at least 2 because of a present +1.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and make your
my
first.
presence. Oh yeah, my presence is a +1, and then if I can convince Barbarister to help make me seem, I don't know, more presency, then I can get a +3.
Let's see.
Well, reading a scroll, understanding it might involve logic and intellect. So
yeah, it says in test involving logic and intellect.
Yeah. So yeah, whoever.
It's so funny though, because you're showing the scroll to your horse and going like, do I pronounce that like so?
Yeah, I'll say the horse will do it. Will give you denies to help you once. After that, he'll get bored of it, but he'll want to show you how to do it right. So yeah, you can get a +2 the first time you cast it with the help of the talking.
And that makes your bonus equivalent to Urvarg's.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and make a presence check.
Right. So I have a +1 actually, and I get a source for a total of +3. So let's see what I roll.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I rolled 1. So that's not going to work. I think the scroll exploded.
That is a critical failure.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I have omen points, so I know we haven't got to the fight yet. I'm going to spend an omen point to reroll that.
Okay.
Well, good news. Omen points regenerate every day, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great then. I'm definitely spending an omen point on that.
Yeah, they're basically fate points.
I don't want to crit fail on the wall mending scroll. We spent so much effort.
It would have been so funny though.
Yeah, you neutralize that crit. So you just take D2 damage.
Oh. Okay, so that's all. It's all.
Could you spend both to neutralize?
You can spend both to reroll.
Okay. Well, I rolled already, so I'd like to have done that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're out of omen. So you successfully cast. So you cast it on the west wall, and now there's a big. I'm just going to put a big black line to represent that one section of wall has been repaired, has been mended.
Hey, cheer for our Lord Rezi!
Yeah. You can cast it 3 more times, and you can do this. Doesn't take up a day, right? Right. You can. It just takes them. That's magic. So yeah, do you want to keep casting? Do you want to wait, or do you want to hand it the scroll to someone else?
Well, while they're casting, can I go? Can I do something?
I can just be like, me and my horse showed you. This is how you do it.
We did our big thing, which was go to the cemetery.
Yeah, your reward is that you can do all this wall mending without having to spend a day. So yeah, but yeah, you went here. Now you kind of hang around and like, I want to see this in action.
I mean, Vemmet, do you want to try to cast this magical scroll if Rezi allows you?
What? No, I can't read.
Well, I could.
Well, the words are magic. They just they become. You can understand them with that. It's the weirdest thing about scrolls. Anyone can use them. Yeah,
But you have to be in the right headspace, which explains why Barbarista is so useful for instructing Resi.
Yeah.
Game
All right.
mechanically wise, I have no presence, and the only thing I have to give me a benefit lowers difficulty. I have such little presence
All
that
right.
I get difficulties lowered on presence.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So, do you want to wait till the next day, or do you want to like? I'd rather just get the wall casting out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to include you, like if Resi allows.
No, no,
Yeah.
not like that.
There's
I
someone else
Okay,
to
messed
go.
up.
Anyone else wants
Resi,
to
do you want to continue casting these yourselves, or do you want Urvag to assist you?
I guess maybe I'll try one more without any.
Okay.
I don't have any help now.
Yeah. The horse it says, "Well, I showed you how to do it. You can do it on your own now."
I do still have a +1, but that's a +1, so you know.
Yeah. So you need an 11 or better.
Hey,
you do.
aha!
Yeah.
There we go.
All
I'm
right.
so good at this, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm an expert. After I spent 2 points, I'm an expert.
Yeah. All right. So you got the north wall fixed up. And yeah, that's 2 out of 4 sections.
All right. Am I taking over?
I'll keep trying until I fail. That's good.
Right.
Well, you're out of omens now, so yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I'm trying the south wall.
Okay, sure.
I don't know. Are you sure?
Urvag is biting his nails now.
Game mechanical wise, it doesn't matter what section you do, like, you know.
Okay, well I thought it might well I guess okay. That's concerning. But okay. Sure.
All right.
Ha-ha.
Yeah. All right.
This is starting to become statistically unlikely.
Well, that's gaming, baby. So
Here,
yeah.
Urvag, you finish up. Show us how it's done.
All right.
Hey,
All right.
That's a crit success.
Good. Oh,
Oh damn.
damn.
All right.
Well, let me do show you how it's done.
Even the horse is impressed.
Resi is actually impressed for like 5 seconds. He's actually impressed for a moment. If he goes back to his normal grumpy self.
So what is my critical benefit?
I will say, okay, yeah. As you mend the walls, you actually begin to feel attuned to the earth, and you realize that there's a hidden room in one of the existing walls, and you're so good at wall mending now, you can kind of shape the wall and create a little door. So yeah, do you want to look inside the room?
Yes, like I announced this loudly. There was through the census that I got.
There is a skeleton chained to the wall, and across from him is a chest full of gold doubloons. And yeah, let's see. Just keep redrawing this and make it more accurate as I'm learning how Owlbear Rodeo works as we do this.
Yeah, I instantly regret having announced that this room was open.
Yeah. So let's see here. Why are we doing this? There we go. So yeah, you have a treasure. You have a unit of treasure, which is useful if you want to, I don't know, buy weapons.
Or hire a band of brigands.
Yeah. This is definitely something you can use to your benefit.
We can hire a better class of cannon fodder. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So
all of a sudden, I'm glad we have this money.
Yeah, so you got something to do that. So that is so you repair all the walls, and you found some treasure. Cool, and that ends day 2. Good job. And as I keep drawing these things, yay, drawing lines.
We've got a sunflower fort.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of more of a Napoleonic era fort, I guess, but whatever.
I mean,
hex maps. Yeah. So you have this. So day 3 rises. And what do y'all want to do?
Well, let's do what I always do: is to outline the options, create a list of things that we could be doing. With the new treasure that we found yesterday, thanks to my efforts, we could try to reach out to any of the existing groups in the area and try to hire them in as extra protection. We could spend the money on more gear for these peasants that we have here, though well, they're not very good at it, so we'd have to spend some days training them up, I think, so that they're not totally useless with them.
Yeah.
There's also the seals, though I would comment that the 7 seals shall break 7 times. The end of the world prophecy, you know. Maybe
How
we
many have
shouldn't be
broken so
messing.
far?
I'm not worried about the end of the world prophecy. I'm pretty sure we're already here. And if we're not, if this isn't the end of the world yet, then I welcome the end of the world. I just don't want to die screaming while it's happening.
Depends on how long you last, whether you'll die screaming or not.
That's what I mean.
I was specifically promised that the things under the leg wouldn't hurt.
You can train the peasants more too. Like there's anyone can train the peasants, give them some more basic instruction. But after that, then yeah, we'll deal with that after if someone does that. So
Could we spend money on peasant training so we can do 2 things at once?
You don't have anybody to pay to. There's no one. You are the most experienced and individuals right here. So,
the only one who has probably received any amount of sword training here is Vrezi.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah.
If we hire mercenaries, then we could have them do.
You are the best of the best of this lot. That's why you're in charge.
But like if we like we would say, if we hired mercenaries or something, what about that?
If you hire well, you have to find the mercenaries, and then they're gonna you'd have to talk to them and ask them what most mercenaries are not. This is not like the here and now where mercenaries are more like trainers. Mercenaries are just door kickers, skull crackers. Like they don't train peasants; they just kill people. Like they're not so much.
Yeah, if there's a band of robbers in the woods, we could maybe hire them. Say that okay.
How many peasants do we have?
You have the bare minimum peasants. Like you have trained them once out of you have given them the absolute bare minimum. I'm not giving you exact numbers. You just
if you had a sufficiently large number of peasants, then you could have the door kickers, quote unquote, train them by fighting them. The peasants
they're not going to train them for you. Like you can train them yourself, or you can equip them. Yeah,
you could have them fight each other, and whichever peasants survive the fighting, they count as trained.
Well, you don't really have a whole lot of time too. This is day 3, right? So yeah, of 7. So yeah, you need to.
I understand the basic principle you're trying to evolution, something like that, Vrezi, but it's over a longer time period.
Yeah. Also, we don't have enough peasants for that.
Yes.
Approach.
Basically,
if like one survives, it doesn't really help us. Yeah,
so. There's scouting, there's the training, there's but yeah, you can look for bandits, or look for mercenaries, you can look for merchants to buy gear from.
Scouting, we could scout for somebody to buy weapons off, we could scout for somebody to hire. Those are basic 2 actions, I think. We could scout in general to see if there are any opportunities to set up traps or hinder the horde.
We could scout the horde to see what's coming.
Well, yeah, scouting is just scouting the horde. Like if you want to do a trap, this map gives you a pretty good idea of like the area. You tell me what kind of we'll set up a bunch of boulders at the top of the hill, so like when they come by, we can roll them down, like that kind of thing, or like set up pit traps in the forest, or whatever. But you haven't scouted the horde. You don't know their composition or what direction.
That sounds like a good plan for day 3 then, while somebody else goes to try to figure out what to do with this money.
So scouting, that's an agility check for somebody, and that's going to be an opposed check against a sentry. So
can it be stealth?
Who here has a horse?
Agility is the stealth thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty good at stealth.
Yeah, if you have a special thing that gives you a bonus on, you're stealthy. So yeah, it will be a lower,
Yeah, he basically has an equivalent to a +2 bonus because
Yeah.
the difficulty is
Yeah,
2
so yeah,
less.
it's a DR10 for you. So yeah.
People don't like looking at me.
The eyes do just glaze off sometimes, I will admit. Although with the costume you wear, I think people would look more often. But I guess you just blend in among your owners.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a agility check then, a stealth check. Vehement.
14.
Yeah. You scout them. You can see that they don't have a whole lot of horses, cavalry, but they have some. They don't have much in the way of siege engines or things like that. But yeah, you get a sense of. They're also realize they're going to be angling more towards the forest. So they're going to be emerging from the northwest. To use that cover to get as close to the bastion as possible before they break cover into open ground. So yeah, you get you have scouted. So now tomorrow someone can use that information to devise, come up with more advanced battlefield tactics with a presence check. But that's like an all-day thing of drawing maps and like figuring out a battle plan, battlefield analysis kind of thing. But meanwhile, so that's Vemut's day, is scouting and reporting back.
Try to hire mercenaries.
All right, so first you have to find mercenaries. So how do you want to find? Are you want to ask around?
I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we do have people with local knowledge here who might know.
Yeah, this won't take. Yeah, so just first give me. So this will be more like a scene to find mercenaries. And go ahead and give me a presence check. They'll see how many you can hear about and pursue.
Each of us, or
well, are you also doing this, Irvarg? What are you doing?
I'll take the help on that one.
Sorry. Well, that's one. Okay, you find out about one group. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But Irvarg.
Yeah, I thought I was going to help out to figure out how to spend this money. But,
okay. Well, I mean, you can also look for merchants that have weapons.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. Give me a presence check as well.
Also on that one.
You find out about one.
I spend 2 omens for a reroll.
Okay. I thought it was just 1 omen to reroll. Or no, because it's a crit fail. Yeah.
Crit fail.
Yeah.
I fail 11.
Actually, no, it's pretty easy. This is
okay.
So you get 2. There's not really a crit fail for this because you're just asking people. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I guess they could lie to you or give you a false gossip. Yeah, actually, no, that would be the crit fail. Vressy, they're gonna send you in a wild goose chase unless you spin omens.
2 omens.
Yeah, to reroll.
I'll spend 1 omen just to negate the crit fail, so it's a regular fail. So
okay, so on a regular fail, you get 1. So you get in the at the foot of the mountain. There are rumored to be the goatmen. You can try and make contact with the goatmen, who are not actually mutants. They are just like wild men who wear goats' heads as helmets or masks. They're deeply unpleasant people.
All right, me and Barrister and Erg go to try to recruit some goatmen.
Okay. So meanwhile, Irvarg, you get 2 leads. One, you hear about a trade caravan that's passing by the northeast area near the lake. You can head out to talk to them. And then there is a sphinx wandering around that is supposed to have the sphinx is actually rumored to be I should have put a little thing for the sphinx. We'll say the sphinx is in the forest and is supposed to have a great deal of weapons with it for some reason. you have two leads, a standard sounding sort of trade caravan, and then the Sphinx.
Get gouged by a merchant or talk to a man-eater. This is tough.
Mm-hmm.
This is really tough.
So yeah, let's see here. So you can think about that, but we'll deal with Vrezi next, because the goatman. So you head out to the goat. You and Erg and your horse head out to the foot of the mountain. You spend some time looking around. You see some standing stones that have been painted, that have dried blood and paint on them, and a figure emerges from behind some rocks nearby, and where this figure is wearing a cloak and a dead goat as a mask. The head of a dead goat turned into a mask. And there's sort of flies buzzing about him, because it's still like they didn't remove all the meat from the goat's head, so it's even from a distance you can kind of smell them, and he kind of baws at you and says, "Hello, you come from the Stone Hill. You wish to speak?"
Well met.
Hmm.
We've got a problem on the way. We thought you could help us with that problem.
Yes, we see many smoke in the distance. A large flock of doom comes your way to eat all. They do not come to the mountain, though. We go up, and up. Too high for them to climb after us. We be safe. Why should we come down from our safety to fight for you?
I show him like one. I don't have the chest with me or anything. Like I show him like one small thing from the chest. There's an entire. Wait, actually, I'm out of character. Am I? I don't know. I guess I can't offer the whole chest if we're gonna offer the chest for merchants to do.
Well, you can give me a presence check to like make a good deal on a price.
Right. Come on, Barbarister. You can help in negotiations here, right? They're used to talking horses around here.
Oh, sure, yeah. The horse will give you a +2, yeah.
So 6, 7, 8. So that's I don't know if an 8 does it or not.
It does
no,
not.
I got one omen left.
Yeah.
All right, share that reroll. Spending my last omen.
Okay.
If that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's better. It'll be 18.
18. All right. So he does it. So the goat man says he doesn't need much. He will take it. A pittance of gold. Instead, he wants he wants meat. Well, not meat, but like what would a goat want? They want. Oh, you know what? They want you to. They saw that you miraculously mended the walls. They want you to mend a stone, a sacred stone to them. So if you can come out, you don't have the scroll on you, or do you have the scroll on you?
Resi would be the one to have the scroll because he traded for it.
Okay, yeah.
Rest doesn't roll the points though, but yeah, sure, we can try it.
Okay, yeah. He points you to the sacred scroll. Don't roll a natural 1.
Damn it. All right. Let's see how this goes. Okay, there you go. See, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Why were you worried? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Been a real bad if you passed out in front of a hungry goat, man.
17 or so.
Yeah, 17. Yeah, it is a miracle. They appreciate it.
Sure is.
Erg does not seem happy about this, though. Of course, he just says Erg when you ask him why. So it's not until you get back. So let's see here. Recruited goatman. All right. So you recruited the goatman. The goatmen, you find out quickly from the peasants that the goatmen are not popular among the local farmers. There's been a lot of friction, and repairing one of their sacred things, which the farmers were the ones to vandalize, is definitely causing people to grumble. That's their problem.
Yeah. I mean, don't worry about it. Like who's to say who's all even going to be alive after this this horde culture? And no, I'm not threatening. I'm just saying literally, I have no idea which of us will be alive. So let's one problem at a time, okay?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Meanwhile, Irvarg, have you figured out which merchant you want to visit?
It is incredibly tempting to just go to the Sphinx, but I think I will do the reasonable thing and head for the merchants.
All right. So you head to the merchants. There is the merchant says, yes. Hello there, valued customer. Yes.
Yes, look, I have here a gold doubloon as proof of that. And look, it is from the previous age. So basically 200 years old. The gold value in this should be considerably higher than of the current mintage. So I basically want here to trade for some weaponry, and maybe you could just come over here to this fort we've put together with the magic of the ancient geomancer of the region, so that you can be safe while we.
Oh no! Unlike you, I have a rite of passage from the murderous horde.
Of course, I see. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Do you also send them intelligence on the region and stuff?
Oh no! They didn't pay for that. They didn't.
Okay, great. I was going to point out we fixed the fort thing. Please send that along. But yeah.
So, what kind of weapons do you want? Are you looking for spears and shields, or bows?
I was thinking, since there's a forest,
or a little of each.
Yes, a mix. Some spears to hold the walls, some arrows to plonk down, slings. In fact, I would like some slings. They're easy to use. I can train some people in the usage.
Well, here's game mechanic wise. You realize if you continue training your peasants, you need to give them sort of a focus. Either close quarters combat, shields and spears, shields and pole arms, bohemian ear spoons and whatnot, or artillery, / range weapons, bows and slings and that kind of thing. Or you can do combined arms, where like the spearmen stand in front and kneel so the bowmen can shoot over them. But that is harder to train them to do. But that would make them better overall. But like you need to pick a focus for this kind of weaponry. If you do combined arms, if you choose combined arms equipment and you don't get them, train them at least twice more, the benefit of it is going to be useless. I mean, it won't hurt, but it's not going to help.
Now, logically, the best thing to do is to go combined arms. So obviously, we'll do that.
All right. So combined arms equipment. So here's the other problem. Is today you spend the whole day negotiating the deal and picking out and looking through the equipment to figure out what's good. You're gonna have to transport that tomorrow, or someone is. That's another day to transport all this and hand it out to the peasants and give it all to your forces. So that it takes 2 actions to get the equipment. So.
And then we have 2 actions left to train them.
Yeah. Let's see here. So go ahead and give me a presence check.
Right.
As long as you don't critically fail, you'll be fine. But if you roll really high,
I critically failed.
All right. Do you want to spend an omen?
Yeah, I'll spend 2.
You can just spend it to ignore the crit fail, and if you do that, you fail, but you have to spend all your gold. But you get it. So
I'll refuse to spend all the gold. I'll spend moments.
All right, so you spend all the gold, so you have enough.
So
you spend all of it. Okay, so if you fail,
I'll spend all my omens.
Yeah.
And that was clearly worth it because that's a 21.
Yeah. So with that, you negotiate a very good deal. So you have a little bit left over. Not a lot, but if you make it would be you have enough to offer some other band if you roll really well, because again you have some pocket change, you have some walking around money, but that's a
we have enough for the goatman, we have enough for the merchant, and we might have enough for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. You're really stretching it. So so the all right, I think that's everybody's action for day 3.
Yep.
So day 4, someone has to bring this equipment in. Now they'll give you a wagon, and you can have some peasants drive you have a wagon at the fort, and your peasants, and you have a couple of a handful of peasants, Erg and 3 others, to load and drive the wagon and everything. But someone needs to oversee this. You can't really trust this to a couple peasants to bring a bunch of valuable equipment and not run off with it.
So how many days are left for the action?
This is day 4. They will arrive on day 7. Or day 8, like basically you have 4 or 5. You have 4 days left of prep. Yeah.
Okay. In a weird question, how much Gygaxian realism can we expect? Like, this is just a really crazy plan, but I'm just wondering if it would be feasible at all. If we started filling the forest with, dead prey animals, could it draw out something like a dragon or something that normally just travels around looking for a home?
Game mechanics wise, you can set up a trap or an ambush and theme it however you want, but you have to spend a day to set it up, and then you have to activate it during the battle. So you have to do something. You have to make some kind of check during the battle, and you can choose whether it's going to be a high difficulty, but if you succeed, there's no risk to you, or a low difficulty and you get attacked, you have to take an attack anyway. So risk versus reward. You can theme that could work thematically, but like you don't have to spend money on it. You just say like, I go out to the forest with a bunch of hunt squirrels and set them up,
right. And
then like during the battle, there's no point in like you have to wait until the battle to spring the trap or ambush. You can, but I'm sort of using simplified game, or I came up with some custom rules for this.
Got it.
So so does anybody know what they want to do?
I fill you all in. They're coming from the northwest. It looks like they've got some cavalry. The walls should definitely help. We might want more bows.
I've invested in a mix of spears and bows and slings, so that we can spend the next couple of days training the peasants so that they can hold the walls, and that should hopefully drive off the horde. Maybe.
I'm thinking we either trap the forest or burn it down. One or the other.
Oh no, burn down. We'll rig it to burn down when they come through it. Oh, I guess that'll be a trap. Yeah, that seems like more fun.
Yeah.
Were we going to have we actually scouted yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
We even scouted.
Which is the reason
someone can spend the day making battle plans. That'll be a presence check, and that's sort of like coming up with detailed plan. That's just sitting in the fort and planning. But like you spend all day do it, and that's a single presence check. Yeah.
Yes, Barbarista, can you get on that?
Yeah. Me and Barbarista and a couple of omen points if necessary. Definitely all over that.
Okay, yeah. Make a presence check. Yeah, the horse will help you. He will advise you on war making plans.
Oh yeah, and I'm playing all the way to his ego. See, and that's why I said a couple omen points. So I'll just spend both those omen points.
Without Barbarista, this fort would be lost.
Yeah, really, he is the MVP. Yeah. So many natural ones. Jesus Christ. Damn.
I did it again. I wondered. Okay, so forget it. We screwed it up, but that's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
No, crit fail. Failed battle.
I mean, you could spend your last omen to not have that be a crit fail.
No, I had to spend 2 points.
Oh yeah, re-rolled and
yeah.
So, well, then there we go.
So you have your battle plans. They won't help with the victory at all. But like no one else can try them because everyone's confident. They sound good. Yeah, it's a great failure. Yeah.
Maybe it's just,
they're written in horse.
Yeah.
I think what happened is this: someone found some alcohol, and it works on the horse too. So we were
Oh
just,
yeah.
like the map. We had battle plans. It's all screwed up. It's just
You make
scrawled notes
so
all
many
over.
presumptions on what the horde is and how they'll act that it's
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
be useful at all.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's very Waterloo or
Yep.
something. I
Wait,
assume.
what do you mean they actually had siege weaponry with them? I thought they were not.
They had some, not none.
Yeah.
Not heavy stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Vemit is correct. The horse think it's funny because he can run faster than us.
Yeah. Pretty good. So
Yes.
so that's what Vressi's doing. Yeah. What's Irvarg doing?
Irvag will finish the negotiations with the merchants and bring the stuff back with the help of some peasants.
Yeah. So yeah, you've already negotiated. Yeah, you just got to get it back. So all right. And Wemit, are you going to help with that, or are you going to do something else?
I think I'm either going to trap the forest or, again, I'll let you determine whether or not this is feasible. Given my relationship with rats, can I kind of work to band the rats of the city together, let them know of the danger that's coming, and get them set up as an ambush force?
There's not really a city here, so
You could definitely use the traps, the rats for a trap. So you just tell me where on the map you want to set the traps, because that's where you'll have to be. Well, or someone will have to be there to sort of set to activate it during the battle.
Okay, it'll be in the forest to the bottom right of where it says forest.
Let's see here. Ooh, brush. What's this do? Ooh, all right.
Exactly.
Right there.
No, that was the one. Yep.
Okay. Let me make it a little thinner. There we go. Let's make it red. All right. So I'll put a little X there.
Yay.
That's so weird.
Oh, I liked it.
There we go. X marks the spot. And so let's see here. Red X. All right, so here's the thing. So you set up a simple trap. You can make a more difficult trap by spending another day to set it up. But yeah, you will have to make a check. So describe how this trap works in general. You're bringing all the rats up to the forest.
Well, this one is just hordes of rats.
Hordes of rats. All right, so they're hiding out in the forest, and basically you'll have to be out in the forest or signal to them somehow of when to attack. And you realize the best time for the rats to attack is after the soldiers, the horde passes through them. So they're
doing it, Viet Cong style. They're tunnels under the trees. As soon as they've passed,
so the timing is everything, and so you have to signal them at just the right instant. So that's going to be a risky action for you.
I'll be out there in a dung cart.
Yeah, or you could be up on the top of the walls waving at them, but like you'll be, an arrow shot range of the horde. Yeah, but anyways, all right. So you've been doing that. So Irvarg, you got Erg and Berg, with you. They load up the wagon with all these crates of, these spears, these arrows, these bows, and these other weapons, some shields, all kinds of stuff. And give me a presence check to notice something.
All right. Let's see. Dice rolling. That's a 12.
At 12. You do notice let's see here. It looks like there is you notice two like figures, people like watching you from the grass as you go from sort of this northeast location back down to the fort. So you're being tailed. There are obviously some bandits operating in the area on their way. So what do you do?
They're following us also like sideways, not directly behind us.
Like they're behind you right now. Well, there were two at first you saw, but then now there's one who peeks his head from the grass and is watching you from back.
All right.
So yeah, yeah, your wagon is definitely slow enough laid down with all this shit, all this equipment.
But somebody can just run and fetch their buddies, and then hey, free weapons.
So you could tell them to kick the horses to go the mules to go faster. You could do any number of things. What do you want to do?
I'll suggest to Erg and Berg that Ervag here. I suggest that we speed up our pace since I've spotted some scouts from the local rogues around here. I think they're scouts. They might be from the horde actually, but no, I think they would be scouts from the local bandits.
Okay.
Regardless, we should hurry now.
Yeah. Roll agility.
Right. That's 10.
10. So you urge them to go faster, and you realize that they're not as encouraging as they could be, and so you grab the reins and start whipping them a little faster, and they pick up a little bit of speed, but not much. And you watch, and you can see the tall grass on either side of this path moving. So you can tell that the bandits are getting ready to surround you. What do you want to
do? All right. Hey, who's over there?
You hear laughter. Oh, you got some eyes on you, do you? Well, why don't you just walk away and make it easy for all of us?
All right. You dare try to challenge the philosopher Ervag from Grift? Well, I shall show you the might of reason. And I cast Dream Theory on the speaker.
Okay. And what does that do?
That's my daily auto success ochre tablet from the Tablets of Ochre Obscurity. The target begins to doubt it is real. Attacking and defending against it is -2 DR.
Oh yeah, right. -2 DR. There it is. Minus what number? Dream Theory. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I strip the what's it called? The cloak from my like body, and like grasp my back with one hand and say some weird words as my hand glows, and the other guy starts, partially fading.
All right. I'll say this also forces a morale check. So if you roll over the morale, nope, their morale is 8. So that does not. So he stumbles out. The one affected by it, he stumbles out of the grass. And attacking and defending again is the target begin attacking, defending against it is -2.
Basically, I can more easily attack.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You get a free attack on him. And I'll say Ergenberg do as well. I'll roll for them. Let's see here.
All right.
They do have. Oh yeah, they fucking hit. I'll say 1d6. They have. I think it's 1d4 for a sling. So yeah, they whip a stone at his head. 3. All right. And yeah,
I will also sling a stone at him.
Okay.
And that's +5 then.
Yeah.
For me. I miss though.
Okay.
But yeah, they hit, and the impermanence of being, suffer it in this fading world.
All right, so he is screaming. He has 2 with him, and the Ergenberg try again to whip the mules to go faster. Let's see if that works. And it's not. So yeah, we'll start with combat. Give me a d6 roll to see if you go first.
All right. All right.
You get to add your agility to this.
Yes, my 0 agility.
All right, you're definitely going first. What do you want to do again?
All right. I will draw forth the scroll.
Okay.
And very well. That does not put you off. I have one more trick up my sleeve, and I'll attack the same guy with lightning.
All right. Awesome. Let's see here. Dealing d6. Yeah. Unclean scroll. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and make a presence check.
All right. That's 18.
Oh yeah, that definitely fucking hits. Roll d2. See how many lightning bolts you get.
Right. 1d2 lightning bolts. Roll 1d2. He's hit by 1, and that's for 4 damage.
All right.
I'll zap him.
That drops him. Let's see if the second morale check for the remaining 2 bandits. And that does their morale is 8. But they did lose a leader. I'll say that gives them a -1. No, it has to be over. So yeah, they're still in it.
God damn it.
So the first bandit attacks Erg. And I say Erg will roll. I'll just roll d20, see if Erg gets killed. If I roll less than a 12, Erg is dead. Erg is fine, and does not get stabbed. Now give me an agility check.
All right.
As the other remaining bandit definitely wants to
Definitely goes up to the guy who
that shoots the lightning bolt.
makes you doubt you exist. 16.
16, yeah. You're fine. You avoid the knife. As basically you're on this cart, it's a very slow chase. They're just yeah.
Stop, get off.
New round. You get for initiative again. So
do I roll on you, or do I start off?
You start off. We'll just keep the same initiative. So.
All right, another lightning bolt for a guy.
All right.
Another 18.
All right. And roll d2.
Yes, it's on its way. That's another 1.
All right.
6. 3 damage for 1.
All right. He is zapped. It's like as you electrically burn him. He screams in pain.
I'm doing the Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you really are. But it's not quite enough to kill him. So Erg and Berg attack. They have their clubs. And I'll say the 2 of them together managed to strike once at the same guy. Let's see here. And that will drop him. And so we'll see if this last guy is in it to win it.
You got this, bandit.
Yeah, he is really fucking determined. Yeah, and
now he's in it for revenge. He
is. So he's going to try and stab you again. Give me another agility check.
Oh god. That's not 1. I'll spend 2 omens.
All right.
And 17. Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. Woof. Yeah.
I stumble and fall off the cart, and he managed not to stab me in the heart.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's 2-on-1 now. There's just 1 bandit left. Go ahead and make a what do you want to do?
Scroll again, since I have it in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 9. That's
regular failure.
What does that mean?
That means you take 1d2 damage.
Yes, I'll spend an omen for a reroll then.
Do you have omens left? I thought you spent
I have
both.
4 omens.
Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind.
It's a new day.
Yeah.
That's a nat 1. So I'll spend the last one to not nat 1, and then I take 1d2 damage, right?
Yep.
I take 1 hit points worth of damage. I have 1 left.
You're still conscious, which is pretty
Yay!
good. Erg and Berg are going to strike again. They have a +2 because they're flanking. Natural 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Erg
double
and-
damage.
Yeah. So that's 2d4 damage. Jesus Christ! Erg and Berg do work. They get out their rocks and their femurs, and they just fucking dismantle this guy. Like they are quite angry with him.
Just screaming Erg the whole time.
Yeah. Just screaming,
I'm twitching slightly at the flashback of my own lightning spell. Like, oh, good work, Erg and Berg. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you get back to the fort with all the weapons.
Plus
and
a
the
couple
loot.
more.
Yeah. There's some poison knives. Let's see what else they have. Yeah. They're wanted. There's a little bounty on them. Which nobody can pay it now, but if you survive the battle, you can turn in their heads to the local king, who's a couple, like a week away. And well, assuming he doesn't get attacked by the horde, potentially it's worth some money. But yeah,
if it's the prophesied horde, he probably won't survive it. But
Yeah.
if it's not, then hey, then we can turn in the money.
all right. So that is day 4. Was that everybody? Or did
Vemmet hasn't done, I believe.
Oh yeah. So Vemmet, yeah. What do you want to do?
Oh no, I set up the trap this morning.
Oh, yeah,
right,
that's right. Yeah.
I
right.
return shaking and twitching.
I was gonna
Some
say you're
blood.
gonna have some traumatic dreams involving the screaming of Erg.
Yeah.
Erg, bunk, bunk, erg, bunk, bunk, erg. Erg smash.
Yeah. All right. So day 5. People need to train the peasants. For sure.
Quick question. There's a healing mechanic in Morkborg where you recover X amount of HP per day.
Yeah.
If you have food.
Yeah, you have food. Yeah.
Yeah. So then
The peasants have been gathering food this entire time, and you're their leaders. They believe in you. I mean, you did bring them weapons, and and you mended the walls. That's pretty good for morale. So yeah, they'll feed you for sure. So yeah, you get your hit point back.
Yeah, I mean, I will generally always recover my health as long as I survive.
Yeah.
In a day.
Yeah. You got you got that looking for
my recovery mechanic is legendary. Like I jump to my feet.
It's binary.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah, day 5. Who wants to do what?
Well, we can list up options again.
Yeah.
Someone should probably train the peasants.
Training.
Yeah. Vresi, you could do that with the help of your horse.
There's still the Sphinx, and we do have some gold left over. Of course, somebody who does go out there with that should be pretty confident.
Well, you need to find you need to find out about a new group of mercenaries. You haven't found any. Like, remember, you only found out about the goatmen.
The Sphinx is equipment, weaponry.
Yeah, you could talk to someone could talk to the Sphinx.
Since it's a magical being, it might have some magical goods.
Yeah. Who wants to do what?
I mean, I still think we should train the lake. Make a boat.
No one's going to stop you if you try it, but like
no, I know.
Okay, yeah.
But I would need to lead a team of people, and I'm not skilled.
Well, you don't have to make presence checks for everything. Like, I'm not going to make everything.
Just convince Rezi this is a good idea. Overg thinks it's a bad idea because he knows about the steals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going for the training thing.
All right. Yeah. Roll presence.
Barbarous, we got this. We did a great battle strategy. Now all we have to do is train the peasants. Okay, maybe not train those peasants.
Did you crit fail or just regular fail?
No, I mean
Regular
it's
fail.
Yeah, you can spin an omen and reroll,
sure.
and you get your horse bonus.
There you go. A non-nat 20.
I mean, that's good enough. Yeah. You train the peasants a second time. So next time you can train them. It'll be harder because now you have to begin more advanced stuff. The combined arms, the whole like the spears stand in front of the bowmen, and the bowmen shoot over the spears. That kind of shit. So and the spearmen guard the bowmen so they can keep shooting. You're not there to you're there to protect them, so they can do the killing. You'll kill some people too, but like that's your main job. And Bowman, your primary targets are other archers, because once you kill all the other archers, you can shoot whoever you want without being shot at. What isn't that great? That kind of thing. So, but today you train them more basics, how to use the weapons that they do have. Minimal. Hold the pointy end goes in the enemy. Don't that kind of thing. So
the worst student.
Yeah. All right. So that's Vressy's day. It's pretty good. Rima, do you know what you want to do?
Do we want more allies or more traps or more resources?
Well, we have a limited amount of time that we can spend resources in. We've already spoken to the traders. The only other creature nearby that I could suggest trading with would be the Sphinx, unless you can scout out there and find us anything else.
I mean, so do we know of anything that might live in the forest other than bandits?
You've heard rumors of things. If there's something you're looking for in particular, yeah. I mean, nothing like too legendary or dangerous,
No, I'm just wondering if there's like a Fae type group that, a group of dryads that live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've heard rumors about a dryad. Yeah, a circle of dryads, sure.
All right, then I'll go search for them. I'm pretty close to nature.
Okay. What do you want to roll for that? You don't. It doesn't have to be presence. It could be agility. It could be strength too.
Can I do? I'll do presence, but I'll do it as a stealth test.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna sneak up on them.
Okay. Yeah.
On their little party.
Sure.
That would be 17.
All right. Yeah, you find them. There is a circle of dryads. They are singing. It is unearthly and beautiful, haunting in a way. What do you want to do?
Stepping out with my monkey friends. Hello, magical creatures. There's a fight coming your way that I wanted to inform you of. Not much we can do to prevent it, but I did want to do everything I could to keep you safe, and maybe we could work together.
So the dryads they instantly stop singing. They look at you. Well, we will. And what do you and why should we interfere with the affairs of mortals?
Because our affairs are intertwined. We are creatures of the trees. We live within you and among you, and you rely on us. We rely on you. We don't exist without the other, and soon neither of us will exist.
We will, if one of you swears to carry a holy thing to us to a distant land after the battle.
Certainly. What is this holy thing?
It is a jewel, and you must guard it with your life.
Certainly. I have no use for shiny.
All right. They hold up a jewel that looks like it is on a necklace. It looks like a acorn, but like of sapphire. But it has some woody element. It's like brown and green and very beautiful. And so one of the dryads holds forth to put it around you. Give me a strength check.
Toughness?
Yeah, toughness. What are the attributes? I thought
that's the only one I get a plus in.
Persuasive toughness.
Oh yeah, toughness. Yeah, it would be more toughness than strength. Yeah.
8. So I think I want to re-roll that probably.
All right. Yeah.
Spend an omen.
20. Oh shit. Okay.
Adjusted 20.
Adjusted 20. Okay, so not a crit. So it bonds to your skin, and there is excruciating pain. But
Ooh, that tickles.
yeah, and yeah, you realize you have been marked. You were this jewel is rather a magical seed of a tree, and it is going to feed on you until you take it to its destination. But you are very tough with that check, so it's a very slow rate of feeding. So yeah, you've given yourself a timer, and yeah,
Hey, if I fail, I become an amazing poison ivy themed Diablo game.
yeah, sure. All
You-
right.
you-
Yeah.
Your corpse definitely doesn't become the resting place of a new seed or something.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Of a new tree. Yep.
Yeah. So that's Vemon's Day is dealing with that bullshit. And Vessi is training the troops and recruiting more, getting the rest of rounding up the rest of the farmers to join the effort. So what is Irvar gonna do?
He spends the morning pacing back and forth in the courtyard of the Mork Borg that we're in, and like, oh no, should I? It's a legendary creature. I shouldn't. And then eventually slips out of the fort to head to the Sphinx, the
Yeah.
remainders of the funds.
Okay. So the Sphinx, you don't have to roll. The Sphinx finds you in the shadow of the forest. Yeah, she looks at you from beneath the shadow of a tree and says, "Hello, Irvarg.
It's strange to behold such a creature. I've only heard of you from the theists that raised me."
Well, I'm not here to ask you riddles. I am here to ask you questions. The first is, what do you want?
My true desire I have sadly abandoned, but you should know it well. The stopping of the end of the world, but you. In more practical terms, I desire what trinkets you have on hand in exchange for mortal trinkets in turn. Should that please you?
Well, do you wish to have something, a single powerful and mighty weapon, or I could tell you the location of a battle, an ancient battle nearby, where it'd be trivial to dig up many old weapons still in good conditions.
Weapons we have procured, so I would think something of significant might would be better.
Very well. I will give you 3 choices. And if you wish an idea of what each one is, you will have to tell me something. You'll have to tell me something personal. You can give me a presence check.
All right. Uh, 18.
So she puts down a sword, a cup, and a book. And she doesn't tell you anything about them. But if you tell her any information, it is more than just telling her something. You will be giving away part of your soul to her. So yeah, there is an ancient sword, jewel encrusted, but also covered in moss. And then there is a golden cup, and there is a book, and an ancient leather-bound tome. So if you want any information, she will describe one in detail, but in exchange, she will ask something that will take away part of your essence.
Mm-hmm.
So she looks at you very intently to see if your curiosity will get the better of you.
Yeah, of course, I am extremely conflicted about this. There are certainly things I could say about how I was raised and what happened after. But of course, I know all too well the price of such knowledge when given to a sphinx. So, is it worth it merely for survival in these days? Then it should not matter. I'm not important in the grand scheme of things, after all. I shall take the book, I think.
Very well.
Even in these times, knowledge is a precious thing, whether that knowledge is good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you take the book. And give me a presence check to understand the book.
I'll re-roll. 12.
Okay. And yeah, with a 12, you get a bare minimum sense of it. It is the Chronicler's Book of Hours. And it is a book about a powerful deific being that controls time and chronicles this being that tries to chronicle all of existence into its book. And so you can roll a d6.
All right. I get a 6.
Okay. So you find out you read about the death of the chronicler. And you know, if you read a book, that whoever reads this book, when they read it, they cannot die for a full day, after which any damage they take is inflicted upon them all at once. Yeah, so you can only read this once a week. So on the day of the battle, you can make one person fundamentally immortal. If they take too much damage, they'll definitely die at the end of it. But yeah, reading, you can all. It has there are other powers in this book. You could spend other days reading this. But yeah, if you can think of a way to make one person, an indestructible person, useful for a battle, I'll give you a variable number of victory points for it. So yeah,
very important.
Yeah.
The person who's going to be affected by this, do they have to be the one to read the book?
They do have to be the read it, but this is a magical book. Anyone can read it. It's got lots of pictures. So it's illuminated. So yeah, you can have an illiterate peasant read it, or any of the player characters can automatically.
Smash.
Yeah. So yeah, you could definitely do that. So yeah, you get the Chronicler's Book of Hours. So good job. And is that everybody for day 5? Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Day 6. You know, you can first see the smoke in the very, very far distance. Is that campfire smoke? Nah, maybe. Well, anyways, it's fine. So if you want to train the peasants, it'll be slightly harder because you have to train them in combined arms shit. But you can train them today and tomorrow, or someone can.
I'd like to do even more training.
Okay, yeah.
If you want to swap out and do something else, I can take over training for the day if you really want to.
No, it's cool. I mean, it's the way Vistry looks at it. He's illusions of grandeur. He thinks he's a great commander right now. He's got a horse and everything. He's got the awesome battle plan. Now this all works for him. This is his new army. There you
Lovely.
go.
Carry on.
Not 20. What did I tell you?
What
Oh
the hell?
shit. Yeah, nat 20 is a nat 20. All right.
I just
Cool.
recently watched Napoleon.
That's it. Yeah, it's a very
To
cool.
be fair, you are a noble. You are supposed to have
I
some.
know. That's what I mean. It all fits.
This is
Dude.
kind of what your type is for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I will. Okay. Yeah. They're really getting it. It's very much Army of Darkness training style montage. Yeah. Huh, yeah. You know, you come up with a whole combo for them. They do the kick, the poke, and the swing. Yeah. It's great.
All we need is a boomstick.
Yeah. So let's see here. Actually, yeah, I will say with that, you have trained them as much as they can be trained in a day. You basically do 2 trainings at once.
Yeah, that's cool.
Arms.
Thrice trained peasants.
Yeah. Let's see here. And so they got
It could also be that the smoke on the horizon gives them extra focus. You know, that could, the literal impending threat really makes people focus up on let's camaraderie and teamwork and shit. At least for a little bit. Then we'll go back to petty bickering later. But for right now, let's act like people.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So so that's your day though. What do you want to do?
I think more traps, but more localized around the base, like punji sticks, like kind of in the field.
You could also upgrade the trap you had in the forest. That was a thing.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
make it a more you could upgrade the trap. So I'll circle it, and now it is a difficult trap.
Sure, I will upgrade it.
Yeah,
It becomes a pincer. There's 2 waves of rats
Okay.
on each side.
That's interesting. I don't want that. Let's see here.
Weird.
Yeah. It's a weird. Well, maybe I should do a line. Let's see. Well, no, we'll do. Well. Anyways, I'll just put a.
Put a different cross on top of it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we'll do the brush thing.
Another hash.
I think you made the entire thing see-through now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did probably. Yeah, I need to spend time with this. Oh wait, yeah, I can make a little dotted line. Yeah, there we go.
That worked.
It has to do with how you drag it, I think.
Yeah.
If you drag it sideways, you'll create the circle.
Okay. Because I just wanted to draw a circle, but no. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. There's that. I'll just put another little X. Yeah.
Sometimes circles have a special too, but I'm not
All right. Let's see here. Difficult trap at red X. Okay, cool. So yeah, you get more rats, more tunnels. Rats and rats. Yeah.
Those ankles will be so bit.
Yeah.
They better have proper leather shoes, or
Well,
else.
it's
Yeah.
rats on one side, and then kind of like a punji stick style trap on the
Oh,
other.
yeah,
So
yeah,
as
yeah,
you
yeah.
flee from them, you fall into holes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Perfect. And then finally Urbag.
I'll read the book.
Okay. Roll D6. If you get a 6, you can roll again.
Yep. 4.
4. That is not a 6. So, you gain the power to condemn any living being capable of understanding language. You find out the target's darkest secrets and fears. They're stunned into silence. This lasts an hour. You must speak to at least 5 minutes to condemn a target. So yeah, you coerce or intimidate. So maybe not quite as useful on a battlefield. Nope. But
challenge their leader to single combat and then shame him in front of his troops.
Yeah.
If you could make yourself functionally immortal for a bit, for a day, say, you could
Yeah.
probably do that.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. That would be a pretty good force multiplier. That'd be a pretty good way to pull that off. Yeah.
Of course, then you have to survive in the duel, or else die the day after.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that would definitely work if you yeah. But anyways, so the let's see, so that's day 6 for everybody. So day 7, last day. The peasants are fully trained as much as they're going to get to in 1 week. They're all raring to go.
Have a
And
battle plan and everything.
yeah, you got a great battle plan. It's so good, guys. It's really good. And let's see here. And you got the walls mended, you have scouted, you have the cave thing.
It's got hoof prints on it, so you know it's good. The battle plan, I mean.
So you could set up more traps for each of you to spring or ambushes. You could do the lake thing if you want to. You could look for one more mercenary group. If all 3 of you worked on this, yeah. Yeah, you don't really have time to get weapons because you have to ship them back too.
Wonder if we could recruit that nice ghost.
You could read the book again. There's 4 more powers you could find. It's a D6 table.
Yeah, but did we need to set up any of these plans, or can they be set up on the day involving the book?
Well, the book powers, if you tell me what the plan is, like if your plan is to give Erg the book, make him immortal, then have him go condemn the leader. That's.
I wouldn't do that to Erg. No, not Erg.
Okay, yeah.
He only says Erg. It's hard to condemn like that.
Right.
Well,
you could do it to the talking horse.
Wow. The talking horse is not too interested in doing it. He also can't hold the book up. He doesn't have hands. He can't hold the book up. Someone has to go out with him.
Yeah, the talking horse is too smart to cast that spell on himself.
Yeah.
Just think about the
you
added
could send a
humiliation of
peasant
being-
out there with a book, and that would probably work. Yeah.
I love that plan. That sounds great. That sounds like fun.
So you don't have, but you could. Who knows what other powers the book has? So yeah.
The book of this angel can allow someone to be functionally immortal for a day, and then it can condemn someone based on their darkest secrets, which will utterly stun them. And what was it? What else did it do?
Stun them in the silence, stuns them for an hour. So yeah, like you go to the leader of the horde, the barbarian warlord, and stun him as the battle begins. Like that's going to fucking be potentially a crippling effect on it. So basically, that would be a variable. I would roll a die. I'm not going to tell you what kind of die, but yeah, could be very little, could be a lot. Yeah.
With bravery and honor, you could go out there, Brezzy, or we could get somebody else to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, you can spend the day reading the book and get another power. Only one person can do that because only one person can read a book at a time.
Yep.
Obviously. Yeah, you can all think about that. I am going to step away, get some more water. So I'll be right back.
So what do you guys think?
I mean, I still want to help those things in the lake. I just think that's wrong.
What are the things in the lake?
Apparently the end of the world monsters are sealed up beneath.
Well, I'm not 100% sure that it is the seal that is.
I would not be surprised with Ross that kills us all. So I'm not actually going to follow through that plan. I just think it's fun.
Oh, it's not that it kills us all. It's just advancing the doom clock. It's one of the signs of the prophecy that 7 seals shall break 7 times.
So once isn't a problem.
Well, the previous 6 have already probably happened.
Well, it sounds like we've got to worry about 49 different breakages.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised you actually got that. Who taught you multiplication?
Oh, I'm speaking out of character.
Speaking in character. But it wouldn't surprise me if the horde is in the region to break a seal. Like they might not know where it is, or the thing in the cave wants them to break it. So, and it might not know that they want to break it.
Yeah,
Maybe they're being summoned by a
pole.
pole or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, but let's focus on our plans. Like if we really want to do a difference, we drive the horde away from this area so they don't break the seals, just in case. But we can't do that. We're just a bunch of.
My only issue with the single combat thing is, our battle plan is so great. I don't see why we need it. But if you really want to, send someone out there to challenge single combat.
Vemmet, I can't help but notice you've something on your chest there.
Oh yeah, pretty new stone. I gotta take it somewhere.
Yes, you would. Good luck.
All right. Does anybody know what they want to do for the final day?
I'll read the book.
What's the lake plan? The one where you drain the lake. What's the deal with that?
You could also find the diving bell.
Explore, or we can dig a trench and try to drain the lake.
Yeah, you can try and drain the lake. That would flood the eastern half of the battlefield and make it easier to get to the seal. If you break open the seal, the monsters, the thing's family will be free, and we'll see what they do.
So it is possible that that's the goal of the horde.
There's a sacred promise between the thing and Vemmet that it won't hurt him or his family, which is his monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I like my battle plan better. The one with all the horseshoe prints on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm a bit surprised with the horseshoe prints. Are they supposed to be readable, or?
We just got kind of drunk. I mean, it's just.
Well, I'll leave this in the hands of the experts. Like, I'm not. I wasn't raised to be a leader or anything.
That's
just
right.
Somebody who could possibly save the world. But never mind.
All right. So what do you want? Yeah. What do you want to do? Someone give me an action that they want to do.
I'm reading.
I work to train the goatmen to be more coordinated with us to be more.
Absolutely not. They do no. No. They woke up this morning. They're going to make it somebody's problem. So they are not very cooperative.
Got it.
So if you Irvar, if you're reading the book, give me D6. If you roll 4 or 6, you get to re-roll.
1.
Let's see here. You get clairvoyance, since the past of a person or place. Learn one thing a person has done. If you could think of, does not have a range. So if there's something in the past of a person or a place, you can see it.
I can figure out what happens when that seal breaks, or whoever sealed it, whether that was a good thing or bad thing.
Okay, yeah. You can do it once a day, so you could do it today and then right before the battle. So is that what you want to use that?
Is it going to have an effect? Will I be able to tell people that, go break those seals immediately? Or
let's see here. They you don't know. There probably is a prize.
No, I meant more like time-wise.
Oh no, you can cast it today. Like reading the book, you can still cast it. You can cast it once a day. So you can you've gained the power. You can cast it now and do something and learn something of the past.
Yeah. So clairvoyance. Does anyone have any thoughts on things I could clairvoy to figure out anything that's useful for us today or tomorrow?
If there's any nearby I don't know. I don't know how clever.
We don't really have any work actions left, though.
Well, we don't know if there's a resource or something we haven't found, like a legendary weapon or.
I'll give you Irvarg a presence check to figure out something.
All right, then I'll roll a presence since I am knowledgeable.
Yes,
I gain 17. Sorry, yes.
17.
Or-
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the barbarian warlord. You could like look into his past and like
Uh.
see him make the plans for this upcoming battle.
Oh, practical, logical thing. Oh,
Yeah,
why didn't I
yeah,
think of
yeah.
that?
Weird. Yeah. Well, like, what is the enemy planning to do? Yeah, yeah.
Fine. Resi, what were you saying?
I mean, like another thing is maybe like you could try to, if I understand how it works, you can maybe try to find the history of the lake or something, or not the lake, but the whatever the heck's in the lake to get a better sense of what it is. That would
Yeah.
potentially be letting out.
Those were my two things. But the problem with the lake is if I spent the day learning this spell, there's no day left to go and break the seal unless somebody wants to do that
is this
on
the
the day of battle in the last hour.
You could
But it
prep.
would-
You could
they-
get to the. You could set it up to. Yeah. Like if you do the diving bell thing during the day of the battle, that's like an ambush, right? Like that'll be risky. Yeah. But you can't do that. Yeah, sure.
Yes. So I have two options. Actually, it does make more sense to clairvoy on the day it happens what plans he has.
Okay.
Although I guess we have less time to prepare them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do the seal as the last thing on the day, and then we'll see if we head out there on the day, right?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you realize you will watch the barbarian warlord in his tent with his chieftains as they're discussing the plans, and you realize that Vresi's plans. I think he was the one who made the crit fail battle field analysis. He totally fucked up. And Clay, you kind of correct that mistake. So yeah, you correct some very glaring errors in your battle plans by spying on the warlord. So good job.
How well do I do in solving Vresi's ego while I do this?
I don't know. How do you? Like, you could just probably not really good. I mean, you can.
Yeah, I rolled an 8. So I'm not going to spend an omen on that. No.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucked up. Your horse lets you know all about it. He's like, I can't believe you fell for that.
Barbarista, we trusted you. How could you fail us like this?
It was really funny, though.
I admit that, but still.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's what Irvarg is doing. We meant for.
I kind of wanted to hear Resi's words, though.
Oh, sorry.
I was just like, Barbarista, these are your prints on it. We, you did this.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, fucking horse.
He just finds it extremely funny.
Yeah, his laugh is also extremely annoying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Wima, do you know what you want to do for the final day?
I mean, my terror and burrowing instincts are coming into play, so I think I'm going to lead some of the townspeople in creating basic battlements out front and to prevent, siege towers, things.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. All right. Yeah, you can roll.
I pretend I thought of that.
You can roll strength to see how good you can muscle that shit in.
Focusing on the northwest.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm going to spend one of my omens for a reroll.
Okay.
That's a 21.
Okay. You'll get a free omen tomorrow.
Cool.
By doing that. So yeah, you get an extra omen. And then Vresi, what do you want to do?
Get drunk. No, I don't suppose there's any way I can have that one spell cast. I'm gonna make. Well, okay. Are we gonna take part in the fighting, or are we just gonna sit back and watch everyone else die?
I mean, that's up to you. But if you fight, you can do more, add more victory points. Like if you each need to do something. You can also try. Yeah, like we'll get to the battle mechanics of that, but that's up to you. Like, yeah.
Until recently, I thought I had a great battle plan, and also I did great at training up the peasants. So I'm like, yeah, I should lead them from the rear probably, but I'll still lead them into battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, what's better is if your leader can't die on accident, So I really kind of want to take that. I don't know if it takes a day action, but I want to take that that whatever that book effect that makes you immortal for a day.
It's basically me casting a spell.
Yeah,
and I
Yeah,
can do
it can
that
only
at
be done
least
to
for-
one person per day. So like, if you do it tomorrow, then you're immortal tomorrow. But I mean, you still die at the end of the day if you take enough damage to kill you. So it doesn't really save you past that day.
Yeah, but it means I get to do a cool battle.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but like, that means you can't send a peasant to go condemn the guy with it.
Look,
Or
here's the
yeah,
thing. I've got like I had a kingdom. Well, I didn't have a kingdom. You know, I was part of a kingdom. It fell down. It exploded or whatever. And life sucks. And then I'm gonna die. And up until recently, I was happy to just use up the peasants to live longer. But now I'm thinking, what's the point? On the other hand, did this, I could have like one cool day of battle where I can't be killed, and then I die. That's not a bad way to go out.
yeah, sure.
He is a nihilist.
Nihilist turn vaguely heroic for a moment with the promise of a spell that means I get to look cool, potentially look cool before I die. So I'm gonna get a bunch of broken bones or something. That would suck.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm arguing to have the spell cast on me. I can try to be a heroic leader, maybe leads from the front for one day,
Okay.
and then probably die.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. It's up to you. Game mechanics wise, it doesn't really impact the battle. It just means you live to see the end of it.
You have confidence. You have more confidence to do whatever you will. So you can see it through.
Yeah. So we'll come to it's Irvarg's book, so he can choose on the day of the battle. So yeah.
If the princeling wants to go out on his own terms, I don't mind that.
Okay. So but what are you doing today? On the final day.
I know, what are the other things we haven't done yet? I mean,
we haven't found the diving bell.
Yeah, you can try and do the diving bell thing and release the creatures from the bottom of the lake.
Though I could precog that tomorrow and figure it out if that's a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah, you could. If you make a presence check, I'll give you one last chance to see if there's another group of mercenaries to recruit.
Sure.
Yeah, we still have the gold for that, unless I gave that to the Sphinx.
Mm-hmm. No, the Sphinx didn't want any gold.
Yep.
Oh, I rolled 2. Sorry. Your roll's higher anyway, though.
Yeah, I mean, 15 is definitely high enough. Yeah, there's one more bandit group, there's a bandit group. They live in the grasses and they pick off farmers and travelers and that kind of thing. They live right beyond the lake, on the far shore of the lake. So let me draw a little blue, a purple little X. Let's see here. Actually, I'll make it a little triangle for the little bandit camp. All right. So that's the bandit camp. You can head there with a white flag and try and negotiate. Yeah. So do you want to try and recruit them?
Sure. Does Beeman, did you want to also do that or what?
Well, I had been setting up battlements.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. So you were battling. Yeah, sure. I'll go try to recruit these people.
Okay. So you head out there.
Me and Barrister and Erg and a couple other people that aren't too slow that look cool in their gear.
Yeah. Yeah. Enough that they won't just attack you, right? Like they'll hear you out. So
it's also for looks, but it's also for violence.
Yeah, you can give me a presence check. It's a hard. They're bandits, but they'll do mercenary work for sure. But you don't have a lot of gold to offer them.
I'll spend an omen for a reroll.
Mm-hmm.
See where you are there, dice.
Mm-hmm.
Should I spend another omen? Yeah, sure, why not?
All right.
I'll let my last one for the day. Okay, there you go. They are difficult to bargain with.
You do not have enough gold with that roll. You have to offer something else. So they mentioned, we we heard one of ours was killed by someone with a lightning scroll. We would, if you traded that to us, we would take the offer. Yeah, the magical treasure would be nice. But yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The lightning scroll's not really mine to give. I can tell you the location of a box with a poison dagger in it.
We have poison daggers. We don't need more.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
if you've got something else you can offer, we'd be happy to hear you. But that's not enough coin to risk a barbarian horde.
mm-hmm. I mean, how about this? Look at it like this. After the horde comes through us, they're going to come for you.
Oh, we have ways to hide.
Right. Like what?
We're not going to tell you.
All right. How would you feel about it if we drained the lake?
We'd move on. This is kind of our turf. It would be kind of odd. Why would you drain the lake? Like, the farmers need it for irrigation.
Just to expose the whatever it is in there. There's like creatures in there or something that might have something to do with prophecy.
Why would you want to do that?
I mean, a horde's going to come. Lots of things are going to change. It seems like a great time to do make more change happen.
Well, good luck with that. That doesn't sound very wise. It sounds very dangerous.
You're a barbarian, right? I guess fine. You're a wise barbarian. Fine.
I'm a bandit. All right. I'm not a barbarian, man. I took a different character class.
I'm a backstabber, not a barbarian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, you could send somebody back to ask Urvarg if it's okay.
Sure, I guess.
All right.
Honestly,
you have all day, so you can go back to the fort. You have your horse and everything. You can ride back.
Hey, Ross, that lightning, when it goes, does it have that cool chain effect where it changes to other people, or is it just hit one person, or what?
It hits 1d2 people, so it has a chance of hitting 2 people at once.
All right, yeah. Okay.
No, it has a chance of hitting one person with 2 lightning bolts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I was thinking it's more effective than that. But yeah. I mean, that's up to Urvarg.
I mean, that's up to 12 damage, which is a fuckload in Mork.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. But it's still the
lethal scroll, and I need it for my own protection. But on the other hand, it won't protect you against a horde.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So yeah, if you mark off your scroll, the bandits will join you.
Yeah, sure.
I
got new spells, hopefully as good ones.
All right.
I don't know them all yet.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for everybody's prep actions. The battle, the horde is on the horizon on the 8th day. Is a long line of horde that you are not their primary target. You're just in their way. And they are definitely, one of these ancient armies that they don't really have much in the way of logistics, so they need to eat from what they can forage, and they aren't too picky about what goes in the stew pot. So farmers taste good. They're grain fed, so there's a lot to deal with. So there is so let's find out how many victory points you have right now. So and how many you need. All right, so your training you got 3 out of 4, but you got a nat 20 on that. So you got 4 points of that, plus 1 for combined arms for a total of 5. And let's see here. Then the cave thing, that gave you plus 1, so that's 6. The walls gave you plus 4. So that's 10, 1 for each wall. Then scouting gave you another 1. And then you have combined arms equipment for 2. That's 13. And then you have clairvoyance at plus 1. So you have 14 right now. You need a minimum of 18 But here's the other good news. Your bandits, or your each group you recruited, the goatmen, the dryads, and the bandits, each give you plus 1d4. So that can be really good. It can be really bad. Now
How would it be bad? I mean, minimum roll is probably another 4 points.
well, I mean, if you don't get enough, like
Okay.
and then the other thing is the trap. The trap can give you a 4 VP if it's successfully pulled off. Yeah, so first let's find out where we stand with the groups. So let's see here. We'll have who talked to the goatman?
I did.
I think it was Rezi.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Rezi, roll a d4 for them.
Alrighty.
Okay.
One.
All right. Now roll. Let's see here. Vehement, roll d4 for the dryads.
4.
4. All right. We're
They
getting
got
good.
the job on them.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with dryads in the forest, boys.
Yep. Weirdly enough.
Mhm.
Now the
Oh, we want to burn this down. Oh God, the trees are killing me.
bandits. Now the bandits have a special rule that it's a d4, it's a d6 minus a d4. And you can go into negatives because they're bandits. They're not trustworthy. So roll a d6.
Guess that's me.
Actually,
Yeah.
I could precog that. No, wait, it's not precog. Never
It's
mind.
post-cog. Yeah, it's
Post-cog.
clairvoyant.
Here's the
Yeah.
D6 part.
Yeah.
And
5.
that's a 5.
Now subtract d4. Roll d4.
Yeah, okay, so
And then a 4. So we got a 1. So.
yeah, they were pretty like, okay, let's
not ahead.
So they were really good at killing them, but they were also really good at killing any of your guys that came. They were also good at sabotaging your, like looting, and they got in your way a lot. Like you're like, well, we can't fire on them. It's just, yeah, it was. They were almost not worth it. So
Still a net
just
positive.
like the goatman.
yeah.
Still call it up then.
Now let's see how the trap goes. Weemet, you're there. You have to do something risky in order to set this rat pit trap ambush off. So like narrate, how does that look? Are you signaling to them? Are you in the forest with the rats?
Oh, I'm in the forest with them. The dryads assisted in creating a tunnel system.
Okay.
And so after the one wave of group, passes over us, we can feel the thunder in between the next group. I charge out with this horde of rats. They emerge, chittering, and the Legion looks back confused. And at first they don't respond, but when they see just the massive numbers, they can't help but feel their instinct to run. And as they turn to run, they fall into spike pits, only to be swarmed by rats biting at them.
Okay.
And then I jump back into the tunnel to hide.
So there's 2 ways you can roll. One is to do it cleanly, which means you're not at risk, but it's a DR 16 to succeed at that, of whatever attribute you think makes sense. Now, or you could roll a DR 10, but you'll also have to risk being attacked, which will be a DR 12 agility check to avoid. And if you do that, you'll take damage.
I will put myself at risk for the city.
All right, first DR 10, just to pull it off.
Pretties.
Oh, what attribute are you using for this?
Toughness, I guess.
Yeah.
Muscle
Toughness.
through it.
Yeah. Basically, you are pushing yourself, squeezing yourself through these tunnels. You're getting bitten by the rats because they're whipped up into a frenzy, and you have to stay focused. So yeah, roll toughness. All right, you succeed. Now, give me a DR 12 agility check.
Well, that doesn't help. Can I? I'm gonna use an omen to reroll, and my agility checks are lowered by 2.
Okay. All right. And you
got 12 exactly.
Yeah. So you avoid the arrows that are meant for your head. And that adds +4 to the traps, to the VP. So with that in mind, you realize at this point you're winning. You're winning the battle. So yeah, so that's what you're doing in the battle. So you're taking care of. So Irvarg, what are you doing in the battle?
Well, just to run through the things planned, I was gonna figure out if releasing the seal, doing the seal thing, if the things sealed there were kind of like bad, good, or what's that? So that's
so yeah, you do this. You realize that it works like a difficult trap. Like you would be, they wake from there and they'll follow the scent of the blood of the cave thing, which will be mysteriously there by the shore of the lake. So someone would have to take a risky action to use this blood to lure them into the enemy hordes, in which case they would wreak tremendous havoc on them. So yeah.
But what do I find out about the essence of the seal? Like, is this one of the fated seals, or is this just like somebody got rid of a bunch?
It's not one of the seals of the world. It's a seal just for this one. It's you can smash it with physical force. It mystically keeps them in prison, but it's not like a world-ending seal.
Yeah, okay. I can identify that. Yeah, good news, everyone! On the evening of battle, like, does anybody want to break some seals and release some horrible abominations that are not world-ending?
I mean, you can get some peasants that are dumb enough. Erg and Berg will volunteer for anything you ask them to do. So you can send them into harm's way and have them break the seal, and then the main thing is, so that's pretty done automatically. The trick is luring these monsters into the horde using the blood as a lure. So you have to like ride out or run out in there or build. I'll say you have a single catapult. You can run to the castle, put long loader on the catapult, and hope you hit the horde with it. So like, how do you want to deliver the blood to the enemy?
Yeah, let me just check something real quick. What kind of ochre tablet I have today?
Oh, yeah. Your spell might help.
Not really. It's Dream Theory again. The target begins to doubt it is real.
Yep.
So I can target one foe to make them more easy to attack.
Yeah, that's not going to help you too much.
Could you use that on one of the giant monsters to convince it to attack the horde?
No.
Yeah. No.
I'm inclined to like, do we really want to beat this horde down as tough as humanly possible? Because then somebody has to run out there with stuff and bring the blood to the horde and splash them with it, or splash their general region with it. The monsters will sniff it out because that is their nature. They will seek out their kin, and once they see basically a smorgasbord of humans, they'll start feasting.
All right. What if we take? Forget about the whole me dying with the thing. What if we take a peasant that is as yet unnamed and put the thing on them so they can't die, and then have them go out there with the blood?
That is doable, but horrible to them. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you actually doing?
It sounds like we're sending a suicide peasant with the blood.
But not one of the ones. But not one of the ones that's already been named.
Oh, hey, unnamed peasant! You hasn't had any speaking lines. Yeah.
Hello, we won't feel guilty if you die.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Give me a presence check to inspire them to do the.
I'll con some poor fool into doing this.
Yeah. Or maybe you won't.
That's a crit fail. I'll spend 2 omens. For a reroll. Okay, 19.
A crit fail would have been really easy. He just breaks it in, like, splashes the blood on you.
Yeah,
that would have been
that would have been a funnier way to end this.
Yeah, but yeah, you do so. That peasant runs out there, and he doesn't get killed by the barbarians, by the horde. He gets killed by the monsters, like squashing him as they stomp.
Well, no, if we make him.
Oh yeah, he's immortal for the rest of the day. So he definitely succeeds. Yeah,
exactly. That was the point.
Okay.
And I'll add in some stranger allusion towards it is terribly risky the thing you're doing, but with this it should protect you. But the curse of the beasts may stray back and kind of foreshadow the fact that he's just going to explode into giblets at the end.
Oh, he really does. Like right in front of you, like at the end of the battle, he's like, "Thank you, you saved me. Thanks to your powerful magic, I don't feel anything. Oh, wait, I feel a little weird." And then there's just literally like a giant footprint magically.
Oh my god, did he take a siege engine hit?
Yeah, really. There's you're just.
It reminds me of the old days.
Yeah. Yeah, so you totally win the battle with a 24 VP out of 18 needed. So you have defeated the barbarian horde. You push them. They flee the area. You actually break them.
It was not the fated horde. Haha.
Yeah. And everyone's looking to the three of you as leaders now. Of course. Weemet has to start traveling, otherwise that jewel is going to absorb him.
Yeah, and I might leave as well, just to have no questions asked about that thing that happened to that one peasant.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I am now royalty again because I said so.
What are you calling your new kingdom?
Oh wow. What was Vesriberg, because it's a terrible name.
Okay. Yeah, and you appoint your horse as advisor, vizier to the king. He insists on it.
You know what? Since that one unnamed peasant's dead and can't say anything about it, we'll say he was a hero. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, you stained the bastions with blood quite a bit actually, because the horde did make it to the walls before they were all murdered horribly, but and that one the peasant exploding at the end stained the bastion with blood. He just painted the walls red.
I really wish he hadn't stand-resked me and shook my hand when he went.
You're like, oh, maybe this is going to be permanent. And it's like, oh god, oh no, it definitely did last a day. So yeah, that is Stain the Bastion with Blood. I hope you it is this is Merc Borg. It is sort of a custom scenario I made up about building up a single area with enough resources so it could survive an impending attack. So sort of wrote some new rules for it. I actually ran a similar scenario in Savage Rifts last night. So that's going to be episode 12. It's going to be very similar thematically, although they didn't have quite the same characters. There's no cemetery with geomancer, for example. But I hope you all had fun. Any questions, comments, suggestions on this scenario?
I'm disappointed I didn't die just completely senselessly somewhere. But
I would
Go ahead.
I would just say the one thing I would change is don't let the omens come back every day.
Well, the thing is, normally, Merc Borg, because this is preparatory, right? Yeah, like having it come back every phase. Like when I ran in Savage Worlds, they have bennies, but that's for the session, so they couldn't spend it every. So I gave you a lot more omens. So that's a good point. It should just be those omens.
Either that, or as you know, it kind of guarantees that we get a lot of safe points doing that with the omens.
And again, in Savage Worlds, it's that you might not have had as many bennies, but from what I understand of Savage Worlds, it seems like success is kind of easy to roll. So balance it out.
You have a lot of character. It's a much more heroic game than like Merc Borg, right?
Yeah.
So
I'd be entirely fine if we'd play this through with no rerolls, in which case we would have failed miserably.
But I think
that would have been part of the fun.
Yeah. That's fair. Well, I think I would just let you have your omens, but that's for the entire session. So like you get to re-roll once.
Or you do it like this. You have one set of omens for the prep phase and one set of omens for the battle phase. If the battle phase is more involved than the prep phase. In this case, most of the game was the prep phase.
Yeah.
And there was no deep plan or encounter for the battle itself where we had to make a difference. If there had been one, I would have said 2 sets of omens.
Yeah.
You could
That's fair.
even make it a mechanic thing where you have to sacrifice to get it. So, like, one of the activities could be getting your omens back, but you spend the
Yeah.
day doing that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that works.
And then that's going to naturally reduce the amount of points you could get.
Yeah. I'll definitely raise the number of victory points too, because I was figuring 1 victory point per player per day. So you, but I lowered it instead of 21 to 18. You know, but I mean, you only so if I did that, it would have been a close. You still would have succeeded, but only barely.
Yeah, and I think there's no clear indication, and maybe that's the point, that some types of victory points are more secure than others.
Yeah,
like releasing the beasts and doing the risky thing there gave us 4 in one go.
Yeah, but that's you had to do a risky thing in the battle to do that, so it was like a difficult trap, a complex trap.
Yeah, which we bypassed by having gone to visit the Sphinx and learned the correct spell.
Yeah, which was a random event, you know, like a random roll. Like you got the good spell to let you do that. The Chronicles book of Hours, by the way, I took from RPPR Illustrated. That was
I read it.
Yeah. So yeah, because you rolled that D6 and you got some powers that were basically useless. So yeah. So you did get some good RNG, but yeah. I'll fine tune it some more and play test it. But I think this just like. You have so much time, you have limited number of actions, so it's like a worker placement thing. You have to generate enough victory points to survive the battle. And like there's only so many safe ones to do, like training and scouting. You can only do so much. So you have to do riskier actions, or like the equipment thing, like it was difficult. Like you could have like gotten killed during that ambush.
I almost killed myself during that ambush.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was cool. I think if every Morkborg game went this way, it wouldn't work very well. But if you occasionally have one Morkborg game where you just seemingly randomly, spontaneously succeed a lot more than you expected, that's kind of cool because it's the opposite of what you expected.
Yeah. You would have lost if you didn't get that weapon shipment in there. You would have lost at least 3 victory points, I think. Yeah. Looking at my notes, you'd have lost 3 victory points.
Yeah, so. the omens were a big part of why we never failed.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. In hindsight, I should have said, your omens are set for the entire week.
Yeah, and you could have told me you picked a character with max omens.
That's fine. This is only like my second or third time running Merkborg too. So yeah. Like characters in Merkborg are fragile, but they still have some survivability because of the omens. Like without that, your characters are just gone in one bad roll. And I want to give them a little bit of survivability because, like, for me, I'm fine with killing character. I just want to kill them in the third act. I don't want to kill them in the beginning of the scenario. That kind of kills the momentum.
And give them a special omen point to just they can spend and not die, but it doesn't work in the third act.
Yeah. Some points to think about. I kind of like this is easy enough that I kind of want to rewrite it or revise it for like a little zine scenario or something. But
I think it's a cool scenario.
I think it's a pretty good framework for like doing this kind of like 7 samurai bullshit.
I also think that we didn't really do that much with it, but letting the players invent facets of what's around. Could be an interesting thing to do. Like, okay, what's here? Like, there could be something here that is of interest to you, helpful in some way, and that's equivalent to this thing or that thing.
I mean, I did a little bit because, like, the dryads are totally invented by player suggestions.
Yes.
So, more of that. I could do that.
But not every player is going to understand that that's an option on the table.
Yeah.
I also like the trade-off ones where it's like, you can't get the bandits and the monsters because the monsters only work with you if you feed the bandits to them. And the bandits only work with you if you get rid of the monsters.
Yeah.
Maybe about the players making things up thing. Maybe the way to balance that is to have like have kind of like the number of victory points. They don't know this, but the number of victory points they could get is it's just to an extent fixed. But you have an idea about what some of the things could be that give them they can go out and recruit to get those victory points, but you haven't locked in stone. So the player can contribute a different thing, but it still has the same number of 1d4 or fixed number of victory points for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something I'll be playtesting more in different settings and systems.
I thought the scenario is really great. I'm happy with it. I'm just trying to, suggest.
I think it's good for a first draft. So I just need to think on it some more and revise and polish it a bit. And then
Yeah,
And
honestly,
also the whole setting is about the whole end of the world thing.
Yeah.
So I think incorporating that, okay, the seal could have been one of the 7 seals that should be break.
Oh yeah.
I think that saying that would be perfectly fine, but it's not the last seal, is it?
well, hey,
Like,
you know what'd be
Yeah, I
cool?
should have done
You know
that. I
what'd be
should have made
cool?
it
Hey,
like, yeah, it's
that's,
like the second
that's
seal.
fair. That's fair. But you know what would be cool is if that's determined by a random roll that you don't know the result of until after they've already done it.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Like if somebody investigates it like me with my post cognition, it could be like, yes, this could be the seal. You'd
Right.
estimate that it's about a 50% chance that it could be the
Yeah.
actual seal.
Mhm.
And then if
Yeah.
if everything is what's it called, down to the wire, you have the difference is gonna be the 4 points you get from the lake monsters.
Mhm.
Then you can like present the terrible Rossian deal where yes, there's a secret passage that goes from the fort to the lake to the
Yeah.
sea.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
But it was
All right.
still fun. I know when you feel like this wasn't great. It was great. I don't mind easy wins. I'm really
Yeah.
fun
I
with
mean, you
it.
did like again. You won, but like pretty hardly. But like a couple of bad rolls.
Yeah.
More like you could have lost. Like it was definitely like if you lost the weapon shipment in Irvarg, that would have made a huge difference. And if you'd failed, just like with the geomancer, if you didn't fucking crit that presence thing, that was a tough fight to try and kill him to get the wall mending scroll. So like, yeah.
Yeah, mechanically,
We
if you
did
think about
genuinely
it,
have some good luck in addition to all of our natural ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
so many ones. So many
Yeah,
ones.
I would definitely next time limit the amount of
Yeah, if you
meta
want to think about
currency.
it, you know,
You
mathematically,
could also do the thing where you say, okay, you can spend the fate points not to get a crit fail, but you can't spend another one to reroll.
Yeah.
Well, like in a fate game, like your fate points don't refresh every game day; it's every session. So like that's fine because that's you could allocate them all in one thing, right? And not crit fail and then re-roll, but that's 2 fate points out of your starting 3, and that's for this entire week of prep. So like,
clearly,
that's fine. Like,
clearly
it's the renewing every phase that really made it powerful.
Right. Clearly, the player is not being fools is the most important, but the second most important thing to success is the number of open points, and the number of open points you have really is kind of like points per player times number of players times number of prep days. That is a lot of omen points. But like maybe you shrink it down in there somewhere where whatever number seems like a good number rather than specific number per day or whatever. Like
I would it would either be like I'd limit it per game session. That's the easiest thing, and like that's appropriate for Merc board. So
that won't make it much tougher though, I think.
Yeah, I mean for Merc board that makes sense, but
for Victor points 18 wouldn't be a problem then. I think even lower might still be difficult to make.
Yeah, but like in Fate and Savage Worlds, you can get bennies and fate points back in order to by doing something role playing wise. So
maybe that can be a thing. If you make action successful, you can get omen back.
Yeah.
Like that's a reward for completing.
Well, I gave like Weeman an extra omen point for the battle because he was doing some prep action at the end. So stuff to think about. Yeah,
too many otherwise. And I would say I had a blast. I enjoyed everything about it. My only regret is because of the economy of action thing. We all kept splitting up. I really loved everybody's characters, and I wish we got to role play more together.
Okay, that's fair.
I wanted some kind of like conclusory thing as well, but I think the conclusory thing here is that Vemut has his quest and like needs to go or else. Irvarg has had a man explode all over him and has a book he needs to read and keep out of the hands of evil people who, those bandits really hate me. I need to go now. And Resi is going to become the king of a tiny little hamlet-sized fort where there's goatmen and bandits and some villagers who all hate one another and a bunch of released man-eaters in the region.
But it'll all be fine.
Although those man-eaters have a lot of food now, so they might be glutted for a while.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Until whatever horde I start with my crystal.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about when winter comes and all the bodies are eaten or frozen solid and they need something warm and fresh. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Also, I liked the fact, Ross Payton.
Yeah.
Ross, sorry. I like the fact you said we want to see another day.
Yeah.
Because in the setting, nobody's seen the sun for years.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. God, I haven't heard that. Yeah.
It was a very metaphorical day.
Yeah. Good point. All right, cool. Well, I had a lot of fun. I'll be working on this scenario structure a bit more, and I'll talk to you later. And if you want to check out Roleplaying Public Radio, check patreon.com. I should have put this link in earlier. /RPPR. That is, you can go here to find out how you play. You can play in a game like this. I run games like this every month for my patrons. We'll be doing it. I'm running a game next week, Monster of the Week, same place, same time. So that's set on a cruise ship where totally cool and normal things are happening. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. Anyway, but that's all I have. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.